Chapter 25:12, Return, 1. Yi Qingtang finally heaved a sigh of relief when she saw the man enter the void and leave. It had to be said that that man was indeed terrifyingly powerful. A single punch could shatter the void. It was not a good thing at all to be targeted by someone like that. Of course, Yi Qingtang knew that the man was not interested in her but more interested in the divine concealment spell she used. But no matter what, this was not something for Yi Qingtang to shout for joy over. Holy Lady, has that monster gone far enough? The Blood Moon Elder only dared to speak after a long time. Wait a while longer, Yi Qingtang said softly. To be safe, it was best not to reveal themselves at this moment. If they came back with a surprise attack, it would be disastrous. Yi Qingtang did not stay there either. After bringing the Blood Moon Elder and the big yellow dog far away, she only released the spell after most of her deity ocean was depleted. We are safe now, Yi Qingtang murmured. By now, the Wailing Well had fallen into a dead silence. There were no more above Emperor-level monsters or other life forms. Only Yi Qingtang, the Blood Moon Elder and a dog were left in the huge Wailing Well. Holy Lady, what should we do now? We can't stay here forever, right? The Blood Moon Elder looked to Yi Qingtang for complete guidance and support. Yi Qingtang fell into deep thought. The previous exit had already been closed, but with the departure of those elders, logically speaking, the seal on the exit should have been completely removed. If the seal was not removed, they could only leave through the void hole made by that man earlier. However, Yi Qingtang did not want to do that. Firstly, they did not know where that void hole led to and it would be very easy to bump into that man. Yi Qingtang did not have much deity ocean power left. It would be difficult for her to escape again. After another hour or so, Yi Qingtang brought the Blood Moon Elder and the yellow dog towards the ice ocean. That was the only exit. Holy Lady, the seal on the exit seems to have been lifted. The Blood Moon Elder pointed ahead and was overjoyed. Ha ha ha. I never expected that I would see the light of day again. This is great. I'm going out to take revenge. I'll let those bastards know that they can't bully a dog just like that. The yellow dog bared its teeth eagerly. Yi Qingtang looked at the big yellow dog strangely. This dog actually had enemies. However, no one knew how long the big yellow dog had been asleep. Perhaps its enemies had already died of old age. If so, who was it going to seek revenge on? Holy Lady, let's leave this ominous land quickly. The Blood Moon Elder urged impatiently when he saw that Yi Qingtang was not moving. Let's go. Yi Qingtang nodded slightly. She did not want to stay in the Wailing Well any longer either. Actually, it was not that she did not gain anything from this trip to the Wailing Well. At the very least, if she had not come here, the Blood Moon Elder would not have revived so easily. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website. My thanks. Of course, apart from that, Yi Qingtang also picked up something bad. She was now being targeted by a powerful monster for no reason. This was truly bad karma. Taking in a deep breath, Yi Qingtang calmed herself down before walking towards the exit. Closely behind her, the yellow dog and the Blood Moon Elder followed Yi Qingtang in hurried steps. Chapter 25:13, Return, 2. By the time Yi Qingtang returned to her senses, she had already left the Wailing Well and returned to a city. This was Universe City. It was still a distance away from the entrance of the Wailing Well which Yi Qingtang had entered previously. Perhaps it was because that man broke through the void and shifted the position of the space. Holy Lady, where are we? The Blood Moon Elder looked around and asked Yi Qingtang. Given that he had just been revived, he didn't know much about the outside world, especially the second domain. There were too many continents, and every single one of them was different. Yi Qingtang gave a rough explanation to the Blood Moon Elder so that he would know what to do. I didn't expect that I would see the light of day again. The big yellow dog was excited, wagging its tail rapidly as it sized up the surroundings. However, as soon as the big yellow dog finished speaking, it quickly fell silent. This place. Something about it felt not quite right. Wait, isn't this? The yellow dog had a strange expression as it sniffed the air. What's wrong, Brother Canine? Is there anything wrong? The Blood Moon Elder looked at the big yellow dog in confusion. Why is it like this? The big yellow dog ignored the Blood Moon Elder and fell into deep thought. It muttered to itself, no wonder my powers dissipated, lower realm, boss. A shout came from afar. Yi Qingtang turned around and saw Qin Feng, Mu Ziying and the rest, as well as the various vice presidents of the academies, walking towards them. Boss, this is great. Mu Ziying fell into Yi Qingtang's arms with an anxious expression. I'm fine. Yi Qingtang smiled and patted Mu Ziying's shoulder. Boss, Lei Yen said with a grin. You told us to come out first while you stayed in the Wailing Well. We waited for you for a long time, but you never came out. You scared us to death. It must be said that Qin Feng, Nangong Lai and the rest were rather excited to see Yi Qing. Initially, they thought that something bad happened to Yi Qing in the Wailing Well and were extremely worried. He had stayed inside for such a long time. How could they not be anxious? Teacher Yi, it's good that you came back alive. When are you free? Let's have a drink together. Lu Yuanxiang walked up with a smile and patted Yi Qingtang's left shoulder. Yi Qingtang, it's all thanks to Teacher Yi. Otherwise, none of us would be able to leave the Wailing Well alive. Thank you, Teacher Yi. The Flying Star Academy teacher cupped his fists at Yi Qingtang. Teacher Yi, you sent them away and stayed in the Wailing Well alone. Did something happen? Can you explain the situation? A white-haired elder walked forward with a walking stick and said to Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang looked at the elder and felt that he looked familiar. However, she was slightly stunned when she thought about it. The ambassador of the Second Domain Academy Alliance, Yi Qingtang contemplated inwardly. The Academy Alliance held an important position in the Second Domain. In her previous life, Yi Qingtang was fortunate enough to participate in a conference by the Academy Alliance. That was where she met this old man. The Academy Alliance included all the academies in the entire Second Domain and was not biased toward any continent. It was a very powerful establishment. Yi Qingtang did not expect that the incident at the Wailing Well would alarm the people of the Academy Alliance. Chapter 25:14, Not a God, but an Immortal. 1. Yi Qingtang did not intend to hide what had happened in the Wailing Well from the Academy Alliance Elder. In fact, the Academy Alliance Elder had already learned everything about the Wailing Well from the Flying Star Academy teacher and Lu Yuanxiang. However, he had no idea what happened after they left. Teacher Yi, are you saying that a certain mysterious figure was resurrected in the Wailing Well? The elder leaned on his walking stick and looked at Yi Qingtang thoughtfully. Yi Qingtang nodded. That's right. Teacher Yi, can you tell me the details? The elder asked. Sure. Yi Qingtang organized her thoughts before telling the elder everything she saw and heard in the Wailing Well, including the approximate abilities of the resurrected person. After hearing Yi Qingtang's narration, the elder fell into silence as though he was searching for something in his mind. After a long time, the elder said, All right. I roughly understand. How about this? I'll record down what happened here and report it to our Alliance headquarters. All of you don't have to be too worried about anything. Senior, how should we explain the nature of this matter? The people of Universe City have all disappeared, and the students of our academy have suffered heavy losses. If we don't do anything about it, we won't be able to account for the situation. One of the vice presidents said to the elder. The old man replied, At this stage, I can't offer an explanation. As for how to deal with it, it has to be decided by our headquarters. As for the people of Universe City, the academies can continue searching for them. After saying that, the elder turned around and disappeared into the void. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared without a trace. After the elder left, Wen Qi looked at Yi Qingtang with a smile. "Yi Qing, it's been hard on you this whole time. Without you, the consequences would be unimaginable." Yi Qingtang did not say much. Things had gone as bad as they could get. Most of them had died in the Wailing Well. She did not have the ability to prevent all of it from happening. It was already the best outcome for Yi Qingtang that she and a few students survived. Vice President, Boss is truly too formidable. If it wasn't for Boss utilizing the space technique to bring us out of the palace, we would surely have ended up dead by now, Lei Yan spoke up hastily. When Lei Yan mentioned the space technique, the eyes of the vice presidents flickered slightly and looked towards Yi Qingtang. When Lu Yuanxiang, the Flying Star Academy teacher and the rest came out, they had already asked whether Yi Qing really used the space technique. Visit Readle.me for extra chapters. Lu Yuanxiang and the others naturally gave an affirmative answer. If Yi Qing did not know the space technique, how else could he explain his escape from the above Emperor-level monster previously? He might be suspected of conspiring with Universe City. Keeping that in mind, everyone decided to tell the truth. Of course, if it was just Lu Yuanxiang alone, it might be hard to believe. But everyone said the same thing, including the Flying Star Academy teacher and the few students who survived. At this point, no matter how unacceptable it was, they could only accept it. I really did not expect this. Teacher Yi is truly unfathomable. The vice principal of Sky Martial Academy looked at Yi Qingtang and smiled. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 25:15, Not a God, but an Immortal. 2, You Speak the Truth. With Teacher Yi's abilities, just being a teacher is too wasteful. I wonder if Teacher Yi has any thoughts on this. Our Sky Martial Academy has 2 vice president positions and one of them is still available, the vice president of the Sky Martial Academy said with a smile. As soon as the Sky Martial Academy vice president said that, the other vice presidents immediately surrounded them. Everyone had witnessed Yi Qing's abilities. Whether it was his ability to teach students or his own powers, he was a rare talent. With Yi Qing's abilities, it was more than enough for him to be the vice president of any one of the academies. One could even tell by the way the Academy Alliance elder spoke earlier, that he held Yi Qing in high regard. If Yi Qing was willing, they would try to poach him at all costs. Everyone, what is the meaning of this? Do you treat me as dead? Wen Qi looked very angry. The vice presidents of the other academies were trying to poach his staff right in front of him. This was simply outrageous. Vice President Wen, you can't put it that way. Teacher Yi did not sell himself to your school, so whoever offers the highest price will get priority, right? One of the vice presidents smiled at Wen Qi. Thank you all for your kind intentions. However, I have no intention of changing my position for now. Yi Qingtang smiled at everyone before Wen Qi could retort. The vice president's expressions shifted at his words. Wen Qi smiled and said, all right, there's no issue of price anymore. Everyone, please return and make the best use of your time to find those people from Universe City. That should be the most important matter at hand. There was not a single soul left in Universe City. All the major academies had returned, and Wen Qi and his group had also immediately set off and returned to their academy. Yi Qing, what is your friend planning to do? If he has no plans, he can be a teacher in the academy. How about that? Wen Qi asked Yi Qing on the way back. Naturally, Wen Qi had heard that Yi Qing had resurrected the Blood Moon Elder. In Wen Qi's opinion, any friend of Yi Qing should be good enough to be a teacher. Vice President, I think there's no need for that. My friend and I still have some private matters to settle. Yi Qingtang smiled at Wen Qi. Wen Qi was taken aback by Yi Qing's words. Yi Qing, do you mean that you won't be going back to the academy first? Yi Qingtang nodded. Yes. I will leave with my friend when we reach the next resting point. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Wen Qi pondered for a moment and finally nodded. Alright, your friend's situation is quite special. How about this, after I return to the academy, I'll help you apply for a leave of absence from the president. We will wait for you and your friend's return after you settle your business. Thank you, Vice President. Yi Qingtang smiled. She did feel some reluctance to part with them, but this was a step that had to be taken. After all, Yi Qingtang could not stay in the academy permanently as she had more important things to do. At the next resting stop, Yi Qingtang waved goodbye to everyone. Boss, when are you coming back? Nangong Lai looked at Yi Qing with obvious reluctance. That's right, boss. What are we going to do if you're not in the academy? Lei Yan joined in anxiously. They were already used to having Yi Qing by their side. If Yi Qing was not around, they did not know what to do. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 25:16, Not a God, but an Immortal. 3, Boss, you wouldn't not come back, right? Yun Chen asked. Boss, I'll go with you wherever you go. Mu Ziying did not want Yi Qing to leave. Qin Feng stood aside and looked at Yi Qing without saying anything. Stay in the academy obediently. I'll come back after I'm done, Yi Qingtang said to her students. Boss is leaving because he has something to do. Moreover, Boss already said that he'll return once he's done. Qin Feng finally spoke. Yi Qingtang smiled and looked at Qin Feng. When I am not around, you will be their leader. Qin Feng, protect your junior brothers and sisters well. Qin Feng quietly clenched his fists as he spoke with a firm gaze. Boss, I will. Before long, Yi Qingtang bid farewell to everyone. She only looked away when she saw everyone had left. Holy Lady, what's going on? Why didn't you follow them to the academy? The Blood Moon Elder looked at Yi Qingtang in confusion. After all, it was an academy in the second domain, much higher in status than those in the first domain. It was a rare opportunity for the vice president to let him be a teacher there. Wouldn't that be a good situation? Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. Do you wish to die? The Blood Moon Elder was stunned. Holy Lady, will I die if I become a teacher? Before Yi Qingtang could speak, the big yellow dog glanced at the Blood Moon Elder and said, It's not that you will die if you become a teacher. You will die if you stay in the academy. Brother K9, can you explain further? The Blood Moon Elder asked. In that place before this, your so-called Wailing Well, didn't you hear those old men say that this little girl seems to be from some academy? If they investigate along that thread, there's no way we can escape. The big yellow dog explained while wagging its tail. Yi Qingtang glanced at the big yellow dog. It had to be said that this dog's intelligence was indeed much higher than the Blood Moon Elder's. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Holy Lady, is that true? The Blood Moon Elder asked Yi Qingtang for confirmation. What do you think? Yi Qingtang sighed. Then, will the academy be at risk? The Blood Moon Elder frowned slightly. Yi Qingtang was stunned. Was this the Blood Moon Elder she knew? He was actually concerned about an academy which he had no links to. Did his character change after being resurrected? If the academy is destroyed, where can I go to be a teacher in the future? Sigh. The Blood Moon Elder continued. Yi Qingtang, that's right, she had misunderstood just now. This matter has already alarmed the Academy Alliance. The mysterious resurrected person is still very weak and will definitely not risk alerting the Academy Alliance. Therefore, the Academy will not be in any danger, Yi Qingtang explained to the Blood Moon Elder. If Yi Qingtang guessed correctly, that person was interested in her divine concealment spell and not the Academy. The Academy would be safer if she was not there. Little girl, where are you going now? Why don't we travel together? I'm not very familiar with this place. The big yellow dog wagged its tail at Yi Qingtang. 1. Chapter 25:17, Not a God, but an Immortal. 4. Yi Qingtang glanced at the big yellow dog. I'm not familiar with it either. It was true that she was not familiar with the second domain. Although she had been to the second domain in her previous life, this was a different era. Furthermore, the continent she was on was different. It doesn't matter if you're not familiar with it. It would still be better if we traveled together, the yellow dog insisted. Yi Qingtang looked at the big yellow dog with a strange expression. What was wrong with this dog? When it was in the Wailing Well, it had been imposing and domineering, claiming that it wanted to take revenge for a blood feud. But now? Was it not planning to take revenge anymore? It wanted to travel around with her instead. Actually, Yi Qingtang had not intended to leave the big yellow dog behind. It was just that its current behavior had piqued her curiosity. Who are you? Yi Qingtang crouched down and examined the big yellow dog carefully. Everything about this big yellow dog was like a mystery that Yi Qingtang could not figure out at all. I really am just a dog. Isn't that obvious? The big yellow dog said while wagging its tail. Indeed, Yi Qingtang did not doubt the big yellow dog's words. Yi Qingtang also believed that it was indeed a dog. But what kind of dog it was and where it came from was the main point. I don't know how long you were asleep in the Wailing Well, but I want to know where you came from before you fell asleep. Yi Qingtang did not beat around the bush. The yellow dog was silent for a moment before it sighed. Tell me, why are you so curious? You are just a human girl. You wouldn't believe me even if I told you. Then what about Shirtian? Yi Qingtang continued to ask. As Yi Qingtang said that, the big yellow dog tilted its head. Well, it's a long story. However, I did misunderstand you. You have nothing to do with Shirtian. It's normal that you don't know him or even know him. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Who exactly is Shirtian? Yi Qingtang asked. Shirtian. You wouldn't know even if I told you. At your level, the big yellow dog mumbled softly. Brother K9, I have always respected you, but I am not happy when you speak like that to my holy lady. So what if my holy lady is only at this level? She is not even worthy to know about some bullshit Shirtian. Who does he think he is? Is he a god? The Blood Moon Elder was displeased. No one could disparage his holy lady. God? The big yellow dog shook its head. No, not that. See, he's not a god. Why is there a need to talk about level? People can't even know about him. That's too much. The Blood Moon Elder scoffed. But he's an immortal, said the big yellow dog. The Blood Moon Elder frowned deeply. Did he hear wrongly or did the big yellow dog speak wrongly? What the hell? Immortal? Did you say that Shirtian is an immortal? Yi Qingtang stared at the big yellow dog. Immortal. Could he be from the fourth domain? However, as everyone knew, the fourth domain had already become a dead zone. There were no living creatures there. The fourth domain. What's that? The yellow dog asked. Yi Qingtang sighed. She realized that she did not live in the same world as this big yellow dog. It did not even know the basic composition of the four domains of the world. At that moment, Yi Qingtang began to seriously suspect whether this big yellow dog was playing a prank on her. Chapter 25:18, Dog is Angry, 1. Although she was very curious about the big yellow dog, Yi Qingtang really did not want to continue talking to it. She and the big yellow dog seemed to be on completely different wavelengths and it was very difficult to communicate with it. Brother Canine, you don't even know about the 4 domains of the world. The Blood Moon Elder looked at the big yellow dog in surprise. Should I know about them? The yellow dog glanced at Blood Moon Elder. The Blood Moon Elder was speechless. Shouldn't it know? Just as the Blood Moon Elder was about to say something, Yi Qingtang frowned and looked into the distance. The auras of several extremely terrifying powers were radiating from the depths of the void. And they were getting closer and closer. Even the Blood Moon Elder who was standing at the side sensed those auras. His face paled. Holy Lady, have they come for us? The Blood Moon Elder looked at Yi Qingtang in surprise. Yi Qingtang's expression was grave. From the looks of it, they were indeed coming for her. Go now. Yi Qingtang did not stay any longer and immediately fled into the distance with the yellow dog and the Blood Moon Elder. Although Yi Qingtang's speed was fast, she had to slow down because of the Blood Moon Elder. On top of that, their pursuers were extremely powerful and caught up with Yi Qingtang and the rest in less than half an hour. Yi Qingtang was not unfamiliar with the person in the lead. She had only met him once in the Wailing Well. He was the elder with the golden book. Come with us. The elder looked down imperiously at Yi Qingtang, his voice cold. Yi Qingtang frowned slightly when she heard that. She looked at the golden book elder in the sky and asked, Who exactly are you? Why are you chasing us? The elder sneered. You're not worthy enough to know. I can only advise you to be obedient. There is no point in resisting. Ha, what big words. Yi Qingtang was not afraid. She did not expect these people to find her so quickly. They must come from powerful backgrounds. Holy Lady, leave first. I'll stop them. The Blood Moon Elder shouted. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. He probably couldn't stop even a single one of them. I am afraid you guys can't stop me if I insist on leaving. Yi Qingtang scoffed. Oh. The elder's interest was piqued. I would like to see how you can escape then. Holy Lady, I don't think we can defeat them, the Blood Moon Elder said softly. Right now, he was the equivalent of a cripple. Although the Holy Lady was powerful, it was impossible for her to defeat those elders. Especially that elder man with the golden book, his strength was unfathomable. Don't you think I know that? Yi Qingtang said softly. Even though they weren't strong enough, what else could they do? Should they really do as commanded and obediently stand on the spot without resisting? To allow themselves to be captured? Although the Golden Book Elder's powers were unfathomable, Yi Qingtang did not have to be afraid of him. Holy Lady, we can't defeat them. If we run, we probably can't outrun them either. What should we do then? The Blood Moon Elder had a bitter expression. Life was really too difficult. Yi Qingtang smiled. As long as it was not the resurrected man himself, she was not afraid of these people. With her abilities, only a fool would fight head-on. Not everything had to be solved with force. For example, she could try using her wits. Of course, that was something that the Blood Moon Elder was lacking. Chapter 25:19, Dog is Angry, 2. Yi Qingtang already had an idea from before and had always wanted to try it out. Now she could use these people as a trial. There were 2 outcomes when using the Deity Ocean. The first outcome was to directly enter the Deity Ocean space. The second outcome was the Divine Concealment spell. In such an uncertain situation, Yi Qingtang would pretend to concede defeat and approach those elders, before using the power of the Deity Ocean. If she was lucky, she could bring them into the Deity Ocean space. At the very least, she could activate the Divine Concealment spell. Those elders would not be able to do anything to her then. Yi Qingtang gave a secret smile. The Yongla tribe had always loved human skin. If she brought these people into the Yongla tribe, she believed that the Yongla tribe general would definitely like them. Even if they were not directly transported to the Yongla tribe, many other demons liked human skin and were as obsessed as the Yongla tribe general. Those demons would definitely be very interested in such a gift. Attack! Before Yi Qingtang could ponder further, the Golden Book Elder gave a cold shout. Yi Qingtang's eyes flickered and she shouted, "Fine, fine, fine. You guys are too formidable. I admit defeat. I'll leave with you guys, alright?" The Golden Book Elder waved his hand and stopped his men's attack. He then sized up Yi Qingtang and laughed coldly. "You do know your place after all. Holy Lady, are we leaving with them just like that? Didn't you say you would rather die than submit?" The Blood Moon Elder had been willing to risk his life but was surprised by Yi Qingtang's sudden concession. "You can go if you want to. I'm not going." "Little girl, you won't make things difficult for a dog, right?" The big yellow dog looked at Yi Qingtang. However, Yi Qingtang did not have any intention of letting go of the big yellow dog. She laughed softly and said, "That won't do. We are friends who have gone through thick and thin together. I definitely cannot leave you behind. Unless," without giving the big yellow dog a chance to speak, Yi Qingtang continued, "unless you show your true powers and chase these people away. What do you think?" Yi Qingtang believed that as long as the big yellow dog was willing, it would definitely be able to do it. After all, back at the Wailing Well, the big yellow dog had killed an above Emperor-level monster in one move. Also, in the Deity Ocean realm, she did not know what the big yellow dog did, but it managed to frighten the West Sea tribe general. In Yi Qingtang's opinion, the big yellow dog was really hiding its abilities. There was no way she would let it off just like that. After hearing what Yi Qingtang said, the big yellow dog was a little anxious. "I wish. Look, if I could defeat them, would I still need to wait for you to speak? I would have already slapped them to death long ago. Why would I let these people bully me like this? Little girl, don't you agree?" Yi Qingtang glanced at the big yellow dog in disdain. "Keep pretending. Let's see how long it could keep up its pretense." It was clearly a godlike dog, yet it wanted to pretend to be weak. What was its purpose? If the big yellow dog was willing to help, the matter would have been resolved long ago. Why was it still trying to squirm its way out of this? Looking at the big yellow dog in her arms, Yi Qingtang started to miss her little white tiger. If little white tiger was here now, damn, forget it. If that thing was here, it would probably flee even faster than the dog. "Holy Lady, don't be afraid. I'll cover you while you run. My skills are not good, but," the Blood Moon Elder stared at Yi Qingtang and fell into silence. He seemed to be utterly helpless now. Chapter 25:20, Dog is Angry, 3, Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. The Blood Moon Elder felt helpless, but Yi Qingtang felt even more helpless than him. Currently, the Blood Moon Elder was probably even lousier than a cripple. When she had time in the future, she must improve the Blood Moon Elder's skills first, otherwise, there was no way that he could defeat anyone. The way he was now, he could not even protect himself. Seeing that the Blood Moon Elder still wanted to say something, Yi Qingtang hurriedly said, "All right, I am the Holy Lady. Just listen to me." In the end, the Blood Moon Elder could only nod his head. Although he wanted to help, he could not do anything. Since his abilities did not allow him to help, he had no choice. Very quickly, Yi Qingtang's gaze landed on the Golden Book Elder. She smiled and said, "Senior, I'll go with you. However, I want to ask why your lord wants to see me. Did I offend him in the Wailing Well? Or was there some misunderstanding?" Yi Qingtang only wanted to get some information from the old man. What if she managed to get something out of him? Wouldn't that be a gain? Currently, Yi Qingtang knew nothing about the identities of these people. The enemy was hidden while she was standing exposed in the light. She did not even know the other party's identity. This made Yi Qingtang uncomfortable. There's no need to say any more nonsense. How dare you question my lord? You just have to obediently do as he says. As for your life or death, I can't decide it, and neither can you. It can only be decided by my lord. Do you understand? The elder snapped caustically. Fine, fine. I understand. You guys are all very impressive. Yi Qingtang gave the old man a thumbs up. Who was the one who spoiled this old man to the point that he was this arrogant? Did he really think he was the messenger of God? Yi Qingtang sneered secretly. Just let them be arrogant for a while longer. If they were lucky, they could directly enter the deity ocean realm and throw them all into the pile of demons. Let them keep up this arrogance with those cruel demons. Let's see if the demons in the deity ocean realm would buy their act. Sir, do we need to tie them up? A middle-aged man behind the golden book elder asked. There's no need for that. The elder spoke calmly, he's merely a mid-stage divine lord. Do we need to treat him so seriously? Are you afraid that he will escape from our hands? The middle-aged man nodded respectfully. You're right, sir. I shouldn't have said anything. Let's go. Do I need to invite you? The golden book elder looked at Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang was expressionless as she said, all right. In that case, lead the way, senior. I also want to know who this great lord revived from the Wailing Well is. Just as Yi Qingtang was about to step forward, a bark of cold laughter came from behind. Visit Riedel. Me for extra chapters. Little bitch, I never expected to meet you here. So it's true that mortal enemies are always destined to meet. Several figures appeared in a flash. Yi Qingtang frowned. This lady, Yi Qingtang was familiar with the lady who spoke. When the inheritance of the divine phoenix was passed down, this lady in green was present and Yi Qingtang's heavenly demon-devouring bloodline was also taken from her. This was the original owner of the heavenly demon-devouring bloodline. Yi Qingtang remembered that when she was still in the Jiang family and entered the land of infinite demons, she had seen this lady in green with an elder. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 25-21, Dog is Angry. 4. Back then, based on the aura of the white-haired elder, Yi Qingtang guessed that he must have come from the second domain. Now it seemed that her guess was right. This lady in green actually followed the white-haired elder to the second domain. In the land of infinite demons, Yi Qingtang once heard the lady in green refer to the white-haired elder as her master. It seemed that she had joined a major force in the second domain. Of course, with the lady in green's martial art talents, she was indeed worthy. Yi Qingtang would not refute this point. Holy lady, who is this? The Blood Moon Elder was stunned by the appearance of the lady in green, who was sneering coldly. What was this? They had yet to settle one problem and another was already cropping up. My enemy. Yi Qingtang gave a brief reply. The Blood Moon Elder's lips twitched slightly. Holy lady, after my death, it seems like you have made many enemies. Look, holy lady, you can't live without me. Although you are unparalleled in the world, you have little experience. You can't compare to me in that aspect. Don't worry. With my glib tongue, I can make us more friends and fewer enemies. Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. Ever since his resurrection, his shamelessness had been honed to perfection. However, the Blood Moon Elder was right about one thing. The Blood Moon Elder had lived in the first domain for countless years and even with her 2 lives, she had not lived as long as him. Little bitch, you snatched my bloodline back then. Today, I will dig out your bones and eat your flesh. The lady in green stared at Yi Qingtang with a cold glint in her eyes that would send chills down one's spine. Yi Qingtang sneered quietly. Back then at the inheritance of the divine phoenix, she did not have any intention of stealing any bloodline. It was the lady in green who had nefarious motives. In trying to steal something, she ended up losing everything. Not only did she fail to snatch the bloodline, but she had also lost one herself. Now, she was accusing Yi Qingtang of being the thief. What a joke. That's her, the heavenly demon devouring bloodline. Suddenly, a middle-aged man in a golden robe walked over slowly with a faint smile on his face. The middle-aged man seemed to be walking slowly, but he crossed 1,000 meters with a single step. In a flash, he arrived beside everyone. Mighty One, when they saw the man in golden robes, the lady in green and her group greeted the middle-aged man respectfully. The middle-aged man did not speak. His eyes landed on Yi Qingtang and he smiled. Little girl, follow me. Holy lady, you're really popular, the Blood Moon Elder said softly. Yi Qingtang's eyes flickered. She had a sudden idea. Visit Riedel. Me for extra chapters. This. I'm afraid that's not possible. Yi Qingtang said to the middle-aged man in the golden robe, first come first serve. I've already agreed to leave with that elder. How about this? If I survive them, you can look for me when the time comes. I'll leave with you then. How about that? Oh. The golden-robed man's gaze landed on the Golden Book Elder and his group. He smiled and said, could you give me some face and let me take this little girl away? Face, face. Everyone behind the Golden Book Elder burst into laughter. Are you worthy enough for us to do that? The Golden Book Elder stared at the golden-robed middle-aged man as he spoke impassively. Oh, I am not worthy enough. Although the golden-robed middle-aged man had a smile on his face, it was a smile that would make one shudder. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 25-22, Dog is Angry, 5, Yi Qingtang quietly sized up the golden-robed man and the Golden Book Elder. They were both extraordinary and if they came to blows, perhaps she might be able to escape during the chaos. Thereafter, Yi Qingtang secretly glanced at the lady in green. Her martial skills were no longer the same as before. The speed at which her skills increased was too fast. Back at the inheritance of the divine phoenix, Yi Qingtang learned that this lady in green was the reincarnation of a true god and had a boundless destiny. We are Sky Vault sect's disciples. This is a Sky Vault branch master, one of the ladies said to the Golden Book Elder. Sky Vault sect, at the side, Yi Qingtang looked at everyone and frowned slightly. The Sky Vault sect was famous and was highly ranked in the entire second domain. In her previous life, Yi Qingtang had heard of the Sky Vault sect. The paragon of the Sky Vault sect was an extraordinary person in the second domain who had the ability to cover the sky. Yi Qingtang did not expect that this lady in green would actually join the Sky Vault sect. However, the fact that this lady in green was a reincarnation of a true god was enough for the Sky Vault sect to groom her. Yi Qingtang guessed that this lady in green did not reveal her identity. Otherwise, the Sky Vault sect's supreme martial artist would definitely take her in as a disciple. Although Yi Qingtang was surprised, she had heard of the Sky Vault sect's reputation. On the other hand, the Golden Book Elder and his group did not seem to be impressed. Sky Vault sect. Even if you're from the Temple of Paragon, I'm afraid you are still unworthy. The Golden Book Elder sneered. Oh, it seems that you are quite arrogant. The golden-robed man looked at the Golden Book Elder. The corners of his lips curled up into a cold smile. In that case, I would like to ask where you are from. None of your business. You are not worthy enough to know either, said the Golden Book Elder. I see. In that case, you must pay the price for your arrogance. As he spoke, the golden-robed man raised his right arm and tapped lightly with his finger. Visit Riedel. Me for extra chapters. In the blink of an eye, countless sword lights surged out from all directions. The sword lights were like rainbows, their auras unparalleled. They slashed towards the Golden Book Elder and his group. Sky-penetrating sword intent, the Golden Book Elder observed as he sneered. Looks like I've really underestimated you. You can actually execute the sky-penetrating sword intent so easily. The Golden Book Elder remained unmoving. Even as he spoke, he did not move at all. When the countless sword lights struck, Yi Qingtang saw that the elder quickly opened the golden book in his hand and muttered something. In the next second, an enormous golden avatar descended like a true god and stood guard beside the old man. Even the extremely terrifying sword intent was unable to break through the golden avatar's defenses. There was a constant rumbling sound, accompanied by a large amount of dust. Following that, the golden avatar's eyes widened in fury. It raised its arm and formed a gigantic demon palm that smacked towards the golden-robed middle-aged man. Bam! In the blink of an eye, the two supreme auras collided with each other, causing everyone to be thoroughly shocked. The Blood Moon Elder was flabbergasted. After being stunned for a long time, he looked at Yi Qingtang. Holy Lady, this is Emperor level. There was no need for the Blood Moon Elder to state the obvious. Yi Qingtang could feel the power of these people herself. This was especially true for the Golden Book Elder and the Golden-Robed Man. Their strength was beyond description. Chapter 25-23, Dog is Angry, 6, Indeed, just as the Blood Moon Elder said, when considering both the Golden Book Elder and the Golden-Robed Middle-Aged Man, who was known as the Sky Vault Sex Branch Master, their abilities had already reached the Emperor level. Not only that, the aura exuded by those two of them was not something an ordinary Emperor stage cultivator could compare to. It was also Yi Qingtang's first time seeing the Golden Book Elder attack. Although Yi Qingtang knew that he was very powerful when they were in the Wailing Well, she did not expect him to be so powerful. If this Golden Book Elder was already so powerful, then that meant that resurrected man. Yi Qingtang did not dare to continue thinking about it as it was too terrifying. Holy Lady, how are they compared to those generals in the deity ocean realm? Are they still inferior? The Blood Moon Elder asked. Yi Qingtang pondered over that. Actually, a demon general in the deity ocean realm was much stronger than them in terms of martial strength. More importantly, demons lived in groups and the difference in strength between them wasn't that wide, especially between a general and a major demon. If these people were thrown into the deity ocean realm, they would not be able to survive if they became enemies with an entire tribe of demons. However, if they fought one-on-one, the demons might be on the losing end as they did not understand the divine abilities and martial art techniques of the human race. It was hard for Yi Qingtang to be able to judge the outcome accurately. Holy Lady, I thought of something. You are able to bring people into and out of the deity ocean space freely. How about you throw them all into the deity ocean space and let them die? A sly look flashed across the Blood Moon Elder's eyes as he murmured his idea to Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. She had already thought of this idea. However, given the current situation, how was she going to throw so many people into the deity ocean realm in one go? It was simply unrealistic. Moreover, she might not be able to enter the deity ocean space. At best she only had a 50 to 50% chance. At this moment, rumbling sounds could be heard in the distance. The Sky Vault sect and the Golden Book Elder's men were fighting. What deity ocean realm? Why aren't you running now? What are you waiting for? Are you stupid? The big yellow dog hurriedly said. Yi Qingtang immediately ran away with the big yellow dog in her arms, and the Blood Moon Elder close behind. Yi Qingtang was not afraid of being discovered by the Golden Book Elder and the golden-robed middle-aged man. They were locked in such a fierce battle, so even if they saw them running away, would they be able to stop their fight and chase after her? Visit Readle.me for extra chapters. Sir, those people ran away, one of the Golden Book Elder's men pointed out to him. The Golden Book Elder looked into the distance and smiled. There's no need to be anxious. I've already locked onto her aura. She won't be able to run far. Yi Qingtang only stopped after fleeing for about 100 miles. However, she discovered that she still had the two extremely powerful auras on her body. No wonder. Yi Qingtang was deep in thought. They allowed her to leave because they had already infused her body with their auras. No matter how far she ran, they could still catch up to her. These people were really cunning. Finally safe, the Blood Moon Elder heaved a sigh of relief. He thought that he would have to leave this beautiful world again after being resurrected. Little girl. The big yellow dog stared at Yi Qingtang thoughtfully. What's wrong? Yi Qingtang's gaze landed on the big yellow dog. Chapter 25-24, Dog is Angry, 7, Interesting. The big yellow dog scrutinized Yi Qingtang's chest. What do you mean? Yi Qingtang frowned slightly. The seal in your body is almost gone, right? The big yellow dog asked. Yi Qingtang's expression changed immediately. Of course Yi Qingtang knew which seal the big yellow dog was referring to. Huh, little girl, this is a very common sealing technique. What's in there that you need to seal? Take it out and let me have a look. The big yellow dog wagged its tail. Yi Qingtang, if she took it out, would she be able to live? It was her heart that was sealed. Why are there two additional auras on your body? The yellow dog was suddenly startled. They are not planning to let you go. Yi Qingtang just smiled. Not me, then who? The yellow dog was confused. It's us, Yi Qingtang replied naturally. The big yellow dog glanced at Yi Qingtang. I have no grudge with them. Those people are your enemies. It has nothing to do with me. You're right. It's a pity that you forgot one thing. Yi Qingtang's lips curled up slightly. They don't think so. Now that we are on the same side, we have to face the enemy together. I'm tired of fighting and killing. I want to go home. The big yellow dog looked up at the sky. Brother Canine, don't worry. When we are safe and find a place to stay, I will definitely get you several luxurious kennels, the Blood Moon Elder said from the side. Yi Qingtang looked at the big yellow dog thoughtfully. Why are you looking at the sky when you want to go home? Is your house still in the sky? My house is indeed in the sky. How can I go back? The big yellow dog lowered its head as if it was really thinking about how to fly. Yi Qingtang's lips twitched. Damn, this dog was acting up again. Holy lady, where should we go now? The Blood Moon Elder looked at Yi Qingtang in confusion. Ever since he was resurrected, he had been on the run with the Holy Lady. Yi Qingtang did not say anything. She also had her doubts. Previously, Yi Qingtang wanted to head to the Dragon Emperor clan to investigate. However, now that she was being chased by those two factions, she might be in too much trouble now. If she were to head to the Dragon Emperor clan before resolving this, she would not be protected by the clan as she could not reveal her identity. On the contrary, if she were to head to the Temple of Paragon, the outcome would be very different. However, Yi Qingtang felt a headache when she thought of the Temple of Paragon. Although she helped them to deal with the Sea King, if they realized that she was not the reincarnation of the Paragon, would they tear her to pieces? Let's go to the Temple of Paragon, Yi Qingtang said after a long while. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website. My thanks. At this current stage, it was more important for Yi Qingtang to resolve her imminent troubles first. And the only one who could help her deal with it quickly was the Temple of Paragon. Regardless, the Temple of Paragon owed her a favor. After all, if not for her, the Sea King would not be so easily fooled. Holy Lady, what did you say? The Blood Moon Elder was stunned. What did his Holy Lady say just now? Did he hear wrongly, or did the Holy Lady speak wrongly? The Temple of Paragon. Chapter 25-25, Dog is Angry. 8. The Blood Moon Elder knew that the Temple of Paragon was one of the top powers in the second domain. They were even linked to the Heavenly Emperor of the third domain. As for the Heavenly Emperor, that was the Blood Moon Holy Lord's main body. His own main body was the Heavenly Emperor's follower. How could his Holy Lady not know about the background of the Temple of Paragon? Moreover, did the Temple of Paragon allow people to enter so easily? I think it's best if you don't think too much about where you're going for now. They're already catching up, the big yellow dog quickly reminded them. Yi Qingtang frowned slightly. The big yellow dog was right. Dozens of extremely powerful auras were approaching at an incredibly fast speed. Before Yi Qingtang could consider further, the figures arrived. Yi Qingtang sized them up. They were not the Golden Book Elders group but the lady in green from the Sky Vault sect and the middle-aged man in gold robes. So fast, Yi Qingtang was surprised and could not understand. Wasn't the Sky Vault sect locked in a fierce battle with the Golden Book Elder and his men? How did they catch up so quickly? There was no way Yi Qingtang believed that the Golden Book Elder would lose. Little bitch, let's see where you can run to. The lady in green glared at Yi Qingtang with a cold glint in her eyes. Without waiting for Yi Qingtang to say anything, the golden-robed man smiled and said, "Little girl, you can run quite fast. To be safe, I should break your legs and your hands first so that you can't move. What do you think?" Yi Qingtang frowned slightly. She would not be able to deal with any one of them in her current state, not to mention this golden-robed middle-aged man, the Sky Vault Sect's branch master. I say, you guys, enough is enough. Why are you bullying others? She's still a young girl. If this gets out, won't it be embarrassing for you? The big yellow dog, who had been nestled in Yi Qingtang's arms the entire time, suddenly spoke up. A strange look flashed across the golden-robed man's eyes. He sized up the big yellow dog carefully. It was indeed just an ordinary yellow dog. Why was it able to speak the human language? And from that, its intelligence was definitely above that of an elite demon beast. It was rather strange. A lowly beast dares to spout nonsense. The lady in green shouted coldly. But the golden-robed man waved his hand. Before Yi Qingtang knew what happened, the big yellow dog in her arms disappeared instantly and was taken away by the golden-robed middle-aged man. The golden-robed man carried the big yellow dog in one hand and carefully inspected it. How strange. I am being reprimanded by a beast that can speak human language. The golden-robed man smiled faintly. I am a dog. Don't call me a beast. You can call me Big Yellow or Brother Canine, said the big yellow dog. The golden-robed man's expression instantly changed. He lifted the big yellow dog into the air and flung it onto the ground. With a loud boom, the ground beneath the golden-robed man's feet shattered. You are just a beast. Your life is cheap, but you insist on being so mouthy. The golden-robed man chuckled as he gazed at the dead, big yellow dog. Damn you. That hurts. In the next second, as everyone watched on, the big yellow dog slowly stood up and shook its fur. Upon seeing this, the golden-robed man frowned slightly and raised his leg. The sound of thunder rang out. Gathering a mass of energy, he stepped heavily on the big yellow dog's body. Chapter 25-26, Alarm. 1. The Blood Moon Elder broke out in cold sweat when he saw the golden-robed middle-aged man stomp on the big yellow dog. This guy was so cruel that he did not show mercy to a mere dog. Yi Qingtang was not worried about the big yellow dog. Although the big yellow dog had always kept a low profile and was afraid of trouble, with its skills, even if it could not defeat the Sky Vault Sect's branch master, it would not be killed by him without any retaliation. Others might not have seen the ferocity of the big yellow dog, but Yi Qingtang had witnessed it with her own eyes. "Brother Canine. Are you still alive?" The Blood Moon Elder looked at the big yellow dog with brows slightly furrowed. He called out softly to the dog, who was still beneath the golden-robed man's foot. However, the yellow dog did not speak for a long time. "Holy Lady, do you think Brother Canine is dead?" The Blood Moon Elder was a little worried. No matter what, they had experienced life and death together. However, before Yi Qingtang could speak, the big yellow dog's tail swayed gently. "Little human. You have gone too far." The expressions of the Sky Vault Sect people changed slightly. The big yellow dog could still speak after being hit twice by the branch master. "Oh." A hint of interest surfaced in the golden-robed man's eyes. Previously, when he sized it up, there wasn't anything special about this big yellow dog. But now, it seemed like that wasn't the case. Even a high-level demon beast would not be able to withstand these two attacks, not to mention a common dog. "I've underestimated you." The golden-robed man's lips curled up slightly. "Forget it. Since you aren't an ordinary animal and a rare spiritual beast, it'll bring you back to the palace. It's not bad to be a mascot." "Mascot." The big yellow dog slowly crawled out from the collapsed ground and shook off the dust on its body. Its eyes were chilled to the extreme. "You are asking me to be a mascot. What? You're not willing." The golden-robed man sneered. "It's a pity that you're just a dog. Otherwise, any other beast who can survive 2 blows by me is worthy enough to be my mount." "Mount?" The big yellow dog raised its head and looked at the golden-robed man. "Little human, have you never heard of, those who fly in the sky, swim in the sea, or run on the ground can all become mounts? But in this world, only canines are off-limits." "Huh? Is there such a saying?" The golden-robed man was intrigued. "Do you know why canines can't be used as mounts?" The big yellow dog asked. "I am indeed interested to hear your explanation." The golden-robed man stood with his hands behind his back. "Because this is a rule I set during the ancient era." The golden-robed man's smile suddenly froze. In that instant, Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder saw a terrifying red glow in the big yellow dog's eyes. It opened its mouth and a hurricane formed between its jaws. Within the hurricane, purple-red lightning flashed non-stop. It was as if the hurricane in the big yellow dog's mouth encompassed the tens of thousands of great Tao laws across the entire Buddhist universe. Before Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder could return to their senses, the golden-robed middle-aged man's face was already filled with defeat. What kind of monster was this dog? Under this torrential force, the golden-robed man even lost the strength to move his fingers. He could not move at all. His body instinctively wanted to escape this place, but his limbs refused to listen to his commands. Chapter 25-27, Alarm, 2, Swoosh. All of a sudden, a violent rush of wind burst out, and everything was engulfed by purple-red lightning. Everything trembled under this pure power of destruction. In the blink of an eye, under the watchful eyes of the crowd, the body of the golden-robed Sky Vault Branch Master shattered into pieces under this force, turning into specks of dust, as if burned by the flames of the abyss. Branch Master. The faces of the people from the Sky Vault sect turned pale at the sight. No one knew what had happened. The Branch Master, who had been fine just a second ago, turned into nothing in the next second. All that was left was a streak of golden soul power which escaped from his body and fled into the distance. Branch Master's soul has left his body. Run! A certain Sky Vault sect disciple shouted, and only then did the people from Sky Vault sect return to their senses. They immediately scattered, fleeing into the distance. In the blink of an eye, everyone from the Sky Vault sect had disappeared without a trace. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder were the only ones left. After a few breaths, Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder likewise returned to their senses. The two of them looked at each other and saw disbelief and shock in each other's eyes. The nearly invincible Sky Vault Branch Master's body had been destroyed by the big yellow dog in less than a second. Unfortunately, the Sky Vault Sect Branch Master reacted extremely quickly. He actually managed to separate his soul from his body at the last second. If he had been just a moment late, even his soul would have been obliterated. Brother K9. The Blood Moon Elder rushed forward and scooped up the big yellow dog. He sized it up with concern. Brother K9, are you alright? That bastard actually dared to be so rude to you. He deserves to be hacked into pieces and die a horrible death. As the saying goes, a brother for a day is a brother for life. You're my brother K9 and I'm your brother human. I'll be depending on you from now on, brother K9. However, the big yellow dog shook its tail and ignored the Blood Moon Elder. It looked up into the sky. The power that had been accumulated for so many days was released all at once, and contained a unique aura. This aura would probably alert the higher realms. This was not a good thing. At the same time, the Dragon Emperor clan, the Evil Lord, is an unfamiliar Emperor-level power. I've never felt it before. It's coming from the north and is currently in the Mixed Heavens holy domain. Hearing that, one of the evil deities in the Dragon Emperor clan suddenly opened his eyes and looked towards the north. His eyes seemed to be able to peer through space and reach the end of the void. Immortal Emperor-level combat strength? Find it. The Temple of Paragon. Oh. Immortal Emperor-level combat powers. A man walked out from the walls of the palace hall and looked into the distance thoughtfully. In a remote place in the Mixed Heavens holy domain. The man's tightly shut eyes opened. My lord, it should be Immortal Emperor-level combat power. An old man stood respectfully beside the man. How interesting. My lord, you just recovered from the Wailing Well, and now, my lord, your body is still too weak. Why don't you rest and return to the third domain? Almost at the same time, the various large factions of the Mixed Heavens holy domain were all alarmed by this unprecedented Immortal Emperor power. At that moment, Yi Qingtang was just looking at the big yellow dog. She did not expect the power released by the big yellow dog to alert the top-notch forces in the entirety of the second domain. Chapter 25-28, Alarm, 3, Brother K9, say something. A brother for a day, a brother for a lifetime. Brother K9, do you need a successor? To nurture a powerful figure or something? Did you know that humans are the most cunning race? Not many humans can be trusted. Do you need to groom a powerful human to serve you? Brother K9, I'm the most suitable candidate. How about you groom me? The Blood Moon Elder hugged the big yellow dog tightly, looking like he was afraid that the big yellow dog would run away. Groom you? The big yellow dog's gaze slowly landed on the Blood Moon Elder. After sizing him up for a moment, he said, I might as well train that little girl. The corners of Yi Qingtang's lips curled up as she walked quickly to the yellow dog. Master. The big yellow dog, these humans. With Yi Qingtang's experience from 2 lifetimes, how could she not know that the ability displayed by the big yellow dog just now had already completely surpassed the Emperor stage and reached an unprecedented level? Immortal Emperor level was at the top of the pyramid of the 3 domains. In fact, in her 2 lifetimes, this was the first time Yi Qingtang felt the power of an immortal emperor. Yi Qingtang originally thought that the yellow dog would at most be at the emperor level. However, Yi Qingtang did not expect that this dog was actually an immortal emperor, above the emperor level. How many immortal emperors were there in the 3 domains? I'm hungry. I want to eat beef jerky. The big yellow dog shook its head and tail. Yes, yes, yes. Yi Qingtang immediately took out some dry food from her space ring and fed it to the big yellow dog. Come, I'll feed you. After the big yellow dog finished eating all the dry food, it said, actually, I am very weak now. There are restrictions here, so it's useless for you to suck up to me. The strength that I have accumulated over so many years is all gone now. Brother K9, what do you mean? The Blood Moon Elder was baffled. He did not understand what the yellow dog meant when it said there were restrictions here. Even Yi Qingtang was baffled and did not understand the meaning of the yellow dog's words. Also, what did it mean by accumulated strength? As a dignified immortal emperor, did it still need to accumulate strength? Didn't it have limitless power? Sigh, this place won't do. The laws are too restrictive, and the accumulation of powers is very slow. I can't fight with others next time. If the people above sense my existence, it will bring destruction to this world, the big yellow dog continued. The Blood Moon Elder slapped his thigh and said, Brother K9, that's right. That's why you can't do everything yourself. That's why you need the Holy Lady and me. Look. Groom the Holy Lady and let her do everything in the future. Let the Holy Lady fight whenever necessary. All will be fine then. Although the Blood Moon Elder did not know what the big yellow dog was talking about, he believed in what he was saying. The big yellow dog glanced at Yi Qingtang. Its gaze landed on Yi Qingtang's chest. After a moment of silence, it said, Little girl, I'm afraid you have an extremely complicated background. What do you mean by that? Yi Qingtang frowned slightly. This was the second time that the big yellow dog tactfully mentioned her heart of heavenly Tao. The heart of heavenly Tao had been sealed by the divine phoenix previously. Judging from the time that had passed, the seal probably wouldn't last long. Chapter 25-29, Karmic Divination, 1. Yi Qingtang felt that this big yellow dog must have seen through to her heart of the heavenly Tao. Perhaps it knew something that she did not. Yi Qingtang was very curious about this and wondered if the big yellow dog could tell her something about the heart of the heavenly Tao. The big yellow dog sized up Yi Qingtang's chest for a long time before retracting its gaze. Little girl, you're quite extraordinary. There are many things I am not sure of, but there's one thing I can be certain of. You'll bring about a fatal calamity upon yourself. This is a calamity you will have to endure, the big yellow dog said. I will bring about a fatal calamity upon myself. Yi Qingtang was even more confused after hearing the yellow dog's words. What did the yellow dog mean? Besides, you're an unlucky person. Truly unlucky. I don't mean that you will cause the death of the people around you, but you will bring bad luck to them, the big yellow dog continued. That's good, the Blood Moon Elder said instinctively. Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder who looked rather embarrassed. Then, do you know its origin? Yi Qingtang pointed at the position of her heart. I'm not sure about that, but the Karma bloodline race should know, the big yellow dog said after a moment of silence. Karma bloodline, race? Yi Qingtang was a little surprised. Ling Yan was the only one who had the Karma bloodline in this world. Yet, the big yellow dog claimed that there was an entire race. How was that possible? However, you must not let those monsters from the Karma bloodline clan see you. Otherwise, they will definitely kill you to put an end to future troubles. Probably. Brother K9, you're being too vague. Can you be more direct? What terminal illness does my holy lady have? Can you treat her? Is she suffering from bad luck? The Blood Moon Elder asked anxiously. Yi Qingtang looked at the Blood Moon Elder in exasperation. Could he not describe her situation in such dire terms? How would I know? I'll use a karmic technique to divine her, said the yellow dog. You know the karmic technique? Yi Qingtang was surprised. I have a grudge with the Karma bloodline clan. In the past, a few of them fell into my hands. I forced them to teach me a little of the karmic techniques. After teaching me, I killed them, said the big yellow dog. Yi Qingtang, in that instant, Yi Qingtang started to worry about Ling Yan. Would this big yellow dog want to kill Ling Yan too? The big yellow dog stood at the side and used its paws to dig at the dust on the ground. It mumbled some unintelligible mystic words, looking very much like a charlatan. After a long time, the big yellow dog looked at Yi Qingtang again with an indescribably strange expression. What's the matter? What came about from the divination? Yi Qingtang was baffled to see the yellow dog looking at her so strangely. Strange, it's too strange. That's impossible, how could something like that happen? Could I have miscalculated? The big yellow dog asked. Although its karmic technique was not that good, it could still come up with an approximate divination. However, when was used on Yi Qingtang, her fate was illusory and very strange. No. The big yellow dog refused to believe it. It used its karmic technique again, but the result was the same. I calculated a few times, you might not believe me if I tell you. The big yellow dog looked at Yi Qingtang. You will want to kill yourself. Chapter 25-30, Karmic Divination. 2. Yi Qingtang was stunned by the yellow dog's words. When she regained her composure, her lips twitched. Did the dog say that she would want to kill herself? How astonishing was this karmic technique? How could it produce something like that? Brother Canine. Your karmic technique doesn't seem to be very good. The Blood Moon Elder looked at the big yellow dog and smiled. He completely disregarded the big yellow dog's words. How could there be anyone in this world who would want to kill himself? Even the big yellow dog was baffled. Yes, that's right, but that's the result of my karmic divination. What's going on? Could it be that my divination went wrong or did not work because I was asleep for too long? The big yellow dog looked at Yi Qingtang and wagged its tail. Little girl, is there something bothering you? Yi Qingtang glanced at the big yellow dog. I've never thought of ending my own life. Then, probably there's something wrong with my technique. Forget it, I don't have a karma bloodline. It's perfectly normal for me to make mistakes, said the yellow dog. Let's go. We can't stay here for long. In the end, Yi Qingtang sighed and completely dispelled the thought of learning about the heart of the heavenly Tao from the big yellow dog. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder quickly left with the big yellow dog. Given that one of the Sky Vault Sect's branch masters had been severely injured by the big yellow dog, it was likely that the Sky Vault Sect would not let the matter rest. Also, it was unknown whether the golden-haired old man would catch up to them. It was best to leave as soon as possible. 2 days later, Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder came to a relay station at the border to rest. By now, Yi Qingtang had been traveling at a fast pace for the past 2 days. This should be a safe place and she could rest well for the time being. She would not need to be on tenterhooks here. After eating and drinking, Yi Qingtang returned to her room and built a temporary kennel for the big yellow dog. I'm really not used to lying on your human bed, the big yellow dog looked at Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang stared at the big yellow dog. Where exactly are you from? The big yellow dog wagged its tail. Why? Are you very curious about me? Yi Qingtang did not refute this point. She was indeed very curious about the big yellow dog. Ever since she met the big yellow dog at the Wailing Well, it was like a mystery. She could not figure it out nor could she understand it. If you were me, you would be curious too, right? Yi Qingtang said a moment later. The big yellow dog said, you don't have to think too much about where I come from. In any case, I don't have any ulterior motives towards you. I don't have any ulterior motives towards your lower realm either. Yi Qingtang frowned slightly. Lower realm? What did the yellow dog mean by the lower realm? Could there be an upper realm? As a person of 2 lifetimes, Yi Qingtang had never heard of upper and lower realms. Could there really be an upper realm? Yi Qingtang asked curiously. The big yellow dog ignored Yi Qingtang and kept wagging its tail. Did it accidentally reveal something just now? Unable to endure Yi Qingtang's pestering, the big yellow dog could only nod and give Yi Qingtang a definite answer. All right. If you really want to know, I'll tell you. I'm all ears. Yi Qingtang nodded. Chapter 25-31, Karmic Divination, 3. The big yellow dog pondered for a long time before saying slowly, since the creation of the world, it has been divided into the upper and lower realms. In the lower realm, there were once gods and demons. The god race created the primordial human race. Meanwhile in the upper realm, just as the big yellow dog finished its sentence and was about to say something more, the void around it started to expand and distort at a visible rate. In just an instant, the big yellow dog jumped up from its kennel with a grave expression. Restricted, the expression on Yi Qingtang's face changed as well. What had happened? Little girl, stop asking. There are some things that you can know, and some things that you cannot. If I tell you, I will bring about a calamity that will be enough to destroy all living beings, the big yellow dog said seriously. Yi Qingtang was deep in thought after hearing the big yellow dog. What happened just now? Could it be that the big yellow dog said something that it should not have said and caused the natural laws of the world to distort? No, it was not that the big yellow dog had said something that it should not have. It was probably, what the big yellow dog was about to say, that was something that she should not hear, she probably didn't have the right to hear. Yi Qingtang was surprised and curious. What kind of truth was it that caused the natural laws to distort so intensely? And what did the upper and lower realms that the yellow dog mentioned represent? Nevertheless, Yi Qingtang now learned a shocking piece of information from the big yellow dog. It was that the world was split into the upper and lower realms. Moreover, even the most powerful races of gods and demons in the primordial era were just a product of the lower realm. In her previous life, Yi Qingtang did not know about the upper and lower realms. Looking at it now, the world was far from being as simple as it once appeared. After a long while, when the surrounding void regained its calm, the big yellow dog slowly said, "Your lower realm is ruled by the heavenly Tao rules, and the higher realm is the same. However, little girl, I can tell you clearly that the heart in your body and your deity ocean are not products of the lower realm." So you're saying that my heart and the deity ocean are from the upper realm? Yi Qingtang asked the big yellow dog. If I'm not wrong, the deity ocean comes from the upper realm. As for your heart, I'm unable to see through it. Its heavenly Tao aura is too rich and blocks everything. Yi Qingtang gathered her thoughts. No matter what the world was like or what the truth was, it was not important to her now. The prerequisite for everything was one's own strength. If she had absolute strength, she would know everything without anyone telling her. At that instant, Yi Qingtang suddenly had an intense desire that she had never had before. She wished to become stronger than anyone else. Yi Qingtang stared at the big yellow dog and her eyes flickered. A faint smile appeared on her face. Didn't you say that you wanted to train me? In Yi Qingtang's opinion, the big yellow dog was completely qualified to teach her and could let her skills undergo a significant transformation in a short period of time. No. The big yellow dog did not hesitate at all and said frankly, I don't know how to teach humans. Besides, if it's so easy to nurture expert practitioners, the current world should already be filled with such people. Actually, the yellow dog was not lying. Powerful practitioners had never been the products of nurturing. Chapter 25-32, Karmic Divination, 4. If the strong could be produced just by nurturing, then there would be no difference between the weak and the outstanding. Everyone knew this, but it was also not an absolute law. There was a world of difference between the effectiveness of an ordinary academy and a top academy in nurturing the same student. With the big yellow dog's strength, even if it could not train her to be at its level, it can at least help her improve significantly. Little girl, don't look at me like that. I know what you're thinking, but don't forget, I'm just a dog. I'm not a human. I don't know much about the physical or spiritual attributes of your human race. We are of a completely different species. How can I teach you? We are incompatible. The big yellow dog also felt rather frustrated. It knew what it had to do to train a dog, but it really had no idea how to train a human. Also, you shouldn't depend too much on me. I can't even protect myself now. If my enemies find me one day, I might even implicate you. The big yellow dog sighed. You previously said that energy cannot be gathered here. That is true, Yi Qingtang said seriously as she stared at the big yellow dog. The big yellow dog nodded. Of course it's true. Why would I lie to you? Do I look like an all-powerful dog who just prefers to keep a low profile? Yi Qingtang rubbed her chin and sized up the big yellow dog before shaking her head. It really did not look like it. That's right. I can't accumulate my powers because of the laws here, otherwise, I would have already reigned supreme in your lower realm. Would I have to beg for food so pitifully from you? The big yellow dog sighed. Then, is there any way to help you? Yi Qingtang asked the big yellow dog after a moment of silence. If she could help the big yellow dog recover its strength, it would remember her good deed. By then, wouldn't she be extremely formidable too? Yes. The big yellow dog immediately stood up and wagged its tail. Just destroy the natural laws of the lower realm. Yi Qingtang stared at the big yellow dog for a moment. Her lips twitched. Go to sleep. It's getting late. Visit Riedel. Me for extra chapters. If you can't do that, you can also send me back to the upper realm. Seeing that Yi Qingtang seemed to have lost the desire to continue talking to it, the big yellow dog changed its tone. Send you back to the upper realm? Yi Qingtang was deep in thought. How can I send you back? When your powers are high enough to interfere with the natural laws of the lower realm, you can then ascend to the upper realm, the big yellow dog said, wagging its tail. Yi Qingtang, go to sleep. It's late. Yi Qingtang could not be bothered with the big yellow dog anymore and blew out the candle. Destroy the natural laws of the world. Interfere with the natural laws of the world, was this big yellow dog talking nonsense? If she had such heaven-defying divine powers, would she still be hiding in this lousy relay station and talking nonsense to it? Little girl, don't be disheartened. No matter what, you were the one who brought me out of that damned place. I owe you a favor. Don't worry, I always avenge the crimes against me and repay favors owed. I can grant you a wish, the big yellow dog's voice drifted out in the darkness. Yi Qingtang said, I want, the big yellow dog said, go to sleep. It's getting late. Chapter 2533, Deal 1. After an unknown period of time in the darkness, Yi Qingtang opened her eyes and leaped up. Running over quietly to the kennel, Yi Qingtang tugged at the big yellow dog's ear. What are you doing? The big yellow dog opened its eyes which gleamed faintly in the darkness. Yi Qingtang frowned slightly and gestured for them to keep quiet. She said softly, lower your voice. Someone is approaching. What does that have to do with me? Anyway, he's definitely not here to look for me. The big yellow dog yawned and was indifferent to Yi Qingtang's words. Not looking for you? I don't think so. Yi Qingtang glanced at the big yellow dog and said softly, previously, you severely injured a branch master of the Sky Vault sect and destroyed his body, forcing his soul to flee. Perhaps the Sky Vault sect is here to take revenge on you. The big yellow dog regained its senses and asked in surprise, why do you humans like to seek revenge so much, then what should we do? Yi Qingtang remained silent in thought. They clearly knew how powerful the big yellow dog was, but they still dared to come over to seek revenge. This meant that these people were not afraid of the big yellow dog's abilities at all. If it was really the Sky Vault sect, it was very likely that the Sky Vault sect paragon had personally come. If that was the case, the consequences would be unimaginable. A branch master of the Sky Vault sect already had terrifying powers. If the Sky Vault sect paragon were to come in person. Yi Qingtang frowned deeply. She did not dare to finish that thought. Little girl, are you plagued by bad luck? Why do we encounter so many things wherever you go? It's really my extreme bad luck to be by your side, the big yellow dog complained. Yi Qingtang glared at the big yellow dog. You still have the cheek to criticize me? If you did not severely injure the Sky Vault sect's branch master, the people from the Sky Vault sect would not have come here to seek revenge, right? Are you blaming me? The big yellow dog snorted. That was all to help you, help me. The corners of Yi Qingtang's lips twitched. That had not been the case. Previously, she had asked the big yellow dog to help, but it refused no matter what. It had obviously blown up in anger after getting beaten. What did it have to do with her? Little girl, now is not the time to talk about this. Didn't you say earlier that you wanted to grant me a wish? I have one now. Go and lure those people from the Sky Vault sect away. Go quickly. The big yellow dog wagged its tail. Visit Rieadle. Me for extra chapters. Yi Qingtang. Astonishment was the only way one could describe Yi Qingtang as she stared at the big yellow dog. Could this dog be any more shameless? It was clearly the one who said that it wanted to grant her one wish. But now, it had suddenly become the other way around. It was only at that moment that Yi Qingtang finally believed that the big yellow dog was not lying. It was indeed unable to gather its strength in a short period. Otherwise, it would not have said such shameless words. Before she fell asleep, Yi Qingtang was still full of anticipation for the upper realm mentioned by the big yellow dog. She wanted to know what was actually up there. But now, Yi Qingtang had completely lost interest in the so-called upper realm. In all honesty, she was afraid that all the powerful figures in the upper realm were as shameless as the big yellow dog. With that thought in mind, Yi Qingtang was too lazy to continue paying attention to the big yellow dog. She walked to the round window in the house and looked out. The surroundings were quiet and there was no sound at all. However, Yi Qingtang could feel a few powerful forces inadvertently spreading out from the dark, causing one's heart to tremble. Chapter 2534, Deal 2. Just one of them was enough to crush Yi Qingtang to death with a single finger. And there were several of them out there now. Yi Qingtang was very surprised. She knew about the Sky Vault sect. They were powerful, but they couldn't possibly be that powerful. How many mighty figures were there in the Sky Vault sect? For a moment there, Yi Qingtang did not know what to do. There was no way to escape from this siege. Yi Qingtang wanted to say something, but her gaze suddenly landed outside the house. In the next second, Yi Qingtang hugged the big yellow dog and leaped onto the beam. After a few breaths, the door creaked open. Through the moonlight, Yi Qingtang saw that the person was no stranger to her. It was the woman in green. Yi Qingtang sneered. This lady in green was like a sticky plaster that could not be shaken off. After the woman in green entered, she did not do anything but just stood by the door and scanned the house. Heh, little slut, why are you still hiding? After a long time, the lady in green looked at the roof beam. Seeing that she had been discovered by the woman in green, Yi Qingtang did not say anything. With no intention to continue hiding, she directly threw the big yellow dog at the woman. The woman in green did not see the big yellow dog clearly and thought that Yi Qingtang was throwing some concealed projectile. She instinctively dodged. There was a loud crash as the big yellow dog slammed into the ground. Seeing that, Yi Qingtang could not help but sigh and smack her forehead. She originally wanted to have the yellow dog launch a sneak attack, but the result was different from what she expected. Little girl, are you still human? You used me as a projectile. The big yellow dog stood up and shouted at Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang jumped down from the beam. The lady in green waved her fingers, and the candles in the room lit up. You managed to hide quite a distance away. The woman in green's gaze landed on Yi Qingtang as she sized her up. Ha, are you here to seek death? Yi Qingtang was not afraid in the slightest when facing the lady in green. Her lips curled into a cold smile as she said, even your branch master's body was destroyed. You are quite bold to dare to come looking for me. As Yi Qingtang spoke, she glanced at the big yellow dog not far away. The meaning behind Yi Qingtang's words was very clear. Even the Sky Vault Sect's branch master was heavily injured by the big yellow dog in one strike. Even if this woman was the reincarnation of a true god, she was still not as strong as the Sky Vault Sect's branch master at this current stage. Ha, Yi Qingtang, so you think I came to take revenge on you? The lady in green smiled. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website. My thanks. If not, tell me why you are here then. Yi Qingtang said. I came here today to make a deal with you. The lady in green's gaze landed inadvertently on Yi Qingtang's chest. You want to make a deal with me? Yi Qingtang glanced at the lady in green and could not help feeling amused. There was a deep-seated grudge between the two of them. How could they strike a deal? That's right. The lady in green looked at Yi Qingtang and nodded. I'm curious as to what kind of deal you and I can make. Go on. Yi Qingtang finally spoke after a long while. Yi Qingtang, I want your heart. The lady in green uttered those shocking words. A cold glint flickered in Yi Qingtang's eyes. Chapter 25-35, The woman in green's deal was a little too ridiculous. She wanted her heart. She might as well have said that she wanted her life. Yi Qingtang, your heart is an unlucky item. With your intelligence and strength, you are unable to control it at all. It will only bring you a fatal calamity. Therefore, my deal is that I can remove all the bad luck contained in your heart, the lady in green explained. Yi Qingtang did not find it strange that this woman in green could see through the mysteries of her heart. After all, she was the reincarnation of a true god. Although she was not a true god now, she had been one in her previous life. You can see through my heart, Yi Qingtang frowned. The lady in green gave a small smile. I can't see through your heart, but I can extract all the bad luck in your heart from your body. In this way, your heart will become an ordinary heart. From then on, you won't have any more worries. Your true potential won't be restricted by the heart any longer. Meanwhile, I might have to endure the bad luck for you too. This deal is very worth it for you, isn't it? Yi Qingtang understood her logic. However, why would the lady in green be so kind-hearted? Even if this woman could really suck away the misfortune of the heart of heavenly Tao and turn her own heart into an ordinary heart, Yi Qingtang would never make a deal with her. Yi Qingtang wanted to speak, but before she could say anything, the big yellow dog suddenly said, "All right, we understand the deal you want to make and we agree." Yi Qingtang was surprised and looked at the yellow dog in confusion. However, before Yi Qingtang had the chance to speak, the big yellow dog looked at the lady in green and continued, "However, in your current condition, are you certain that you can endure the bad luck of her heart? If you think that there's no problem and that you won't explode and die, you can take it." The woman in green shook her head and said, "It's impossible in my current situation, but no problem. I won't make her wait too long. Soon, my strength will be enough to control the misfortune of her heart." Visit Readle. Me for extra chapters. That's easy for you to say. Everyone outside should be from the Sky Vault sect, right? They probably won't let her off, the big yellow dog said. The lady in green smiled. Not exactly. Because of you, Many major powers in the mixed heavens holy domain were alerted. Many of them are just trying to probe into the appearance of the new immortal emperor level being. But they don't know that this immortal emperor needs to accumulate its powers over a long time to launch just one single attack. If they knew, don't you think they would just kill you all? It would prevent future troubles. The big yellow dog nodded and said, "You have already comprehended the restrictions of the natural laws at such a young age. You actually know so much. Not bad, not bad. Alright, there's no need to say such flattering words. Remember, you must not admit that the immortal emperor's power is yours. Don't die before our deal is completed." After saying that, the woman in green turned and left. After the lady in green left, Yi Qingtang looked at the big yellow dog. Do you think she would be so kind-hearted? 1. Chapter 25-36, What do you mean by kind-hearted? In this world, one only looks for what benefits oneself. The big yellow dog looked at Yi Qingtang. It's impossible for me to make such a deal with her. This woman is not a good person. She must be plotting something, Yi Qingtang said a moment later. Of course there's a ploy behind it. However, it's not a bad thing for you. From a certain perspective, you will also be a beneficiary of this deal. The big yellow dog pondered for a moment before explaining to Yi Qingtang. What do you know? Just say it clearly, Yi Qingtang said. Just now, she said that your heart has bad luck. That's indeed the case, but this bad luck is only directed at yourself. Your heart is filled with an extremely thick heavenly Tao energy. She wants to completely absorb the heavenly Tao energy, the big yellow dog said. I see. Yi Qingtang was deep in thought. It was true that she had wondered why the woman in green was so kind-hearted. It turned out that the heart of heavenly Tao contained a large amount of heavenly Tao energy. If the woman absorbed all the heavenly Tao energy, it would be difficult to determine how far she would grow. To you, it's actually very worth it. That woman would obtain the power of the heavenly Tao, while you can eliminate your bad luck. The big yellow dog wagged its tail. Yi Qingtang fell into deep thought. What the big yellow dog said did make sense, but Yi Qingtang was unwilling to give up all the heavenly Tao energy in her heart just like that, even if it was very beneficial for her. Then, is it possible that I can absorb all the heavenly Tao energy in my heart myself? Yi Qingtang's eyes flickered. If she could absorb the power within her heart of the heavenly Tao, not only would she be able to eliminate her bad luck, she would also be able to obtain all the power of the heavenly Tao. Well, the big yellow dog glanced at Yi Qingtang. Little girl, you're really greedy. You have the usual characteristics of a human. Hearing this, Yi Qingtang was rather displeased and sneered. This is something that already belongs to me from the start. How is that being greedy? The yellow dog was speechless. It was unable to retort. Visit Readle. Me for extra chapters. Logically speaking, it doesn't make sense for you to absorb your own power. However, your heart is rather special. It might be possible, but I'm not sure how to activate the process. I'm not a human and have never studied you humans before, the yellow dog said. For now, Yi Qingtang decided to stall the lady in green first. If she really did not have a solution by then and the heart of heavenly Tao was seriously threatening her, perhaps she could consider it. But for now, she should try to see if she could find a way to absorb the power of the heavenly Tao herself. Holy Lady. Just as Yi Qingtang was deep in thought, the Blood Moon Elder rushed over from outside with a panicked expression and stared at Yi Qingtang. Holy Lady, there seem to be many powerful figures around this relay station. Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. Wasn't this too belated? By the time he realized it, he would have probably died more than 800 times. Outside the relay station. My lord, we can already confirm that existence with the ability of an immortal emperor is inside the relay station. It's just that the immortal emperor aura dispelled a long time ago. Furthermore, there were some recent natural law distortions nearby. A white-haired elder seemed to be in deep thought as he said, natural law distortions. Could it be that he failed to break through to the immortal emperor level? If that's the case, he should be very weak now. There is no need for strange immortal emperors to exist in the mixed heavens holy domain. Chapter 2537. The instruction given to him by the evil deity Patriarch was that if a peak immortal emperor existed, everything would be fine. However, if it was a newly ascended immortal emperor, he should be eliminated once he was seriously injured from undergoing the tribulation. According to the natural laws of this place, it was very likely that he would fail in his attempt to break through to the immortal emperor level. He would definitely be extremely weak now, and this was the best opportunity to kill an immortal emperor. Everyone, come out. I believe we all have the same motive for coming here, the white-haired old man said. As the white-haired old man finished speaking, batch after batch of elite practitioners from the mixed heavens holy domain walked out from the shadows. So it's Elder Long of the Dragon Emperor clan. Nice to meet you. At that moment, a white-robed youth holding a golden feathered fan walked out from the shadows with a gentle smile. He clasped his fists and smiled at the white-haired old man. Sky Vault Sect's first prince. The white-haired elder glanced indifferently at the youth holding the golden feathered fan. I didn't expect Elder Long to remember a junior like me. I'm truly flattered. The white-robed youth nodded slightly. Heh, it's lively today. On the other side, a woman in a red dress walked out from the darkness. She had a flushed face and an alluring appearance. Devil Cloud Sect. Many practitioners were surprised to see the woman. It was rumored that the Devil Cloud Sect came from the third domain and had migrated to the mixed heavens holy domain overnight. The Devil Cloud Sect Paragon was an elite practitioner who had once been sworn enemies with the Temple of Paragon. After that, for some unknown reason, the Devil Cloud Sect Paragon died in the Wailing Well. Recently, there was news that the Devil Cloud Sect Paragon had already been resurrected. As for whether it was true or false, no one knew. After Devil Cloud Sect Paragon died, the red dress woman became the one in charge. The Devil Cloud Sect has already fallen eons ago. Why have they risen from the ashes now? A six-winged fire phoenix flapped its wings up in the sky. Elder Bai stood on its back and stared at the red dress woman. Apart from Elder Bai, there was also a man wearing a silver fox mask standing with his hands behind his back. Heh, what's going on today? It's really lively. Even the protectors and elders of the Temple of Paragon have been mobilized. The red dress woman smiled gently. Visit Riedel. Me for extra chapters. The Temple of Paragon. The white-haired elder of the Dragon Emperor clan glanced at the Temple of Paragon indifferently. It was common knowledge that the relationship between the Dragon Emperor clan and the Temple of Paragon had never been harmonious in the mixed heavens holy domain. The Temple of Paragon had a paragon overseeing it, while the Dragon Emperor clan had an evil deity overseeing it. I say, Temple of Paragon. The Dragon Emperor clan is even more vicious than our Devil Cloud sect, right? That's a truly great evil sect in the mixed heavens holy domain. Could it be that your Temple of Paragon isn't interested in eradicating this evil sect? To clash with the Dragon Emperor clan? The red dress woman chuckled. Her appearance was extremely alluring, and her words were filled with a bewitching divine power. The first prince of the Sky Vault sect smiled and waved his golden fan. He then glanced at the elder of the Dragon Emperor clan. Just as the woman in red had said, the Dragon Emperor clan had once been an evil sect despised by the entire mixed heavens holy domain. The clan was besieged by many powerful factions, but the factions ended up suffering heavy losses after several attack attempts. In the end, they could only leave the matter at that. A moment later, the white-haired elder of the Dragon Emperor clan glanced at the red dress lady and asked, when did the Demon Cloud sect learn to sow discord? The white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan did not have a good impression of the Demon Cloud sect. Chapter 2538, look at what you're saying. The Devil Cloud sect always had a knack for sow discording, right? Besides, with the nasty relationship between the Dragon Emperor clan and the Temple of Paragon, I'm afraid there's no need for anyone to sow discord. The red-dress woman looked at the white-haired elder and chuckled softly. Devil Cloud sect, I heard that your paragon was resurrected. I wonder if it's true. On the six-winged fire phoenix, the Temple of Paragon practitioner with a silver fox mask spoke softly, his hands behind his back. The corners of the woman's lips curled up slightly. Is there a need to ask? Of course it's true. It is my esteemed lord who asked me to come here to investigate the mystery behind the appearance of this immortal emperor. Elder Bai frowned slightly. Had the Devil Cloud sect paragon really been resurrected? Was the red-dress woman speaking the truth? It was common knowledge that the Devil Cloud sect and the Temple of Paragon had always been archenemies. The two powers were completely different. If the Devil Cloud sect paragon had been resurrected, he would probably target the Temple of Paragon. Although the Temple of Paragon was not necessarily afraid of the Devil Cloud sect paragon, the fact was that there was still no news of their own paragon. I say, people from the Temple of Paragon, it's better for you to return to your temple first. Tell your own paragon to get ready and wait. I believe that our paragon will be giving a huge surprise soon. The red-dress woman smiled at the silver fox man and Elder Bai on the phoenix. How dare you? Elder Bai shouted coldly, you little brats dare to talk about my paragon. Do you really not know how insignificant you are? Elder Bai, aren't you getting a little too huffy? I was only telling the truth. How could you take my kind reminder as malicious intent? The red-dress woman's expression did not change, not showing the slightest fear. Since the Devil Cloud paragon has been resurrected, our own paragon will also be offering a grand gift. The Silver Fox practitioner spoke out nonchalantly. Oh. What kind of grand gift is your paragon going to give my lord? The red-dress woman's face was filled with curiosity. Your head, said the Silver Fox man. Visit Riedel. Me for extra chapters. The smile on the woman in red's face faded. Is that so? In the next second, the Silver Fox practitioner formed a seal with one hand. The void distorted and everyone from the Devil Cloud sect, including the red-dress woman, was sucked into the distorted space. Even the six-winged fire phoenix, elder and the Silver Fox practitioner disappeared. Profound Void, the first prince of the Sky Vault sect smiled and looked at the white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan. Elder, the people from the Temple of Paragon and the Devil Cloud sect have all entered an alternate space. I wonder if we need to interfere. After all, our motive for this trip is that mysterious immortal emperor. The white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan replied expressionlessly, the grudge between the Devil Cloud sect and the Temple of Paragon has nothing to do with my Dragon Emperor clan. I agree. In that case, let's see if that mysterious immortal emperor is here or not. The Sky Vault sect's first prince glanced at his men, while the white-haired elder of the Dragon Emperor clan also waved his hand. Chapter 2539, Chapter 2539, Killing an Immortal Emperor, 3, Yi Qingtang and the big yellow dog were talking in the house when the Blood Moon Elder walked to the window and looked outside. The Blood Moon Elder quickly retracted his head and looked at Yi Qingtang. He said hurriedly, Holy Lady, many powerful figures are rushing in. Yi Qingtang frowned slightly but regained her composure quickly. What the woman in green said earlier was that the unleashing of the yellow dog's accumulated power had produced the energy of an immortal emperor. Many major factions in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain mistook this for an emperor-level practitioner trying to break through to the immortal emperor level. And that surge of immortal emperor energy came and went rapidly. That could only mean two things. Firstly, the emperor-level practitioner failed to break through to the immortal emperor stage. Therefore, in order to prevent future troubles and prevent the emergence of any new immortal emperors, these major factions would eliminate this emperor-level practitioner who tried to break through. The second reason was that the breakthrough had been successful, but the immortal emperor was unable to endure the might of the heavenly tribulation and was severely injured. Regardless of which reason, it was enough for the various large factions to think of ways to get rid of him. An immortal emperor practitioner who was a complete stranger to them was an extremely unstable existence to the mixed heavens holy domain. However, it now seemed that Yi Qingtang did not have anything to worry about. After all, in the eyes of those major forces, whether that immortal emperor succeeded or failed in breaking through, he would at least possess the power of a peak emperor level. But the big yellow dog had no powers now at all. There was no way they could be implicated. Crash. Before Yi Qingtang could ponder this any further, the sounds of doors crashing open rang out from the relay station. Many cultivators who were inside the rest station were all let out. Yi Qingtang looked around. In front of these powerful figures, it was useless to escape or hide. Given the situation, she might as well stay in the room and wait for them to investigate. Before long, Yi Qingtang's room door was also kicked open before several middle-aged men strode in. One of them was in charge of guarding Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder while the rest searched the room. After confirming that there was no one else in the room, one of the middle-aged man's gazes landed on Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder. "Let me ask you, is there anyone else in this room other than the two of you and your dog?" the middle-aged man asked. "Visit Riedel. Me for extra chapters." Yi Qingtang hurriedly shook her head and frowned. "May I ask, has there been some misunderstanding? Come with us." One of the middle-aged men shouted coldly. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder looked at each other. The two of them did not resist. Picking up the big yellow dog hidden in the kennel, Yi Qingtang followed the middle-aged men out of the house. Outside the rest station, the lit lanterns made it as bright as day. Most of the martial arts practitioners who were resting at the relay station were all brought here. Everyone was confused and did not know what was going on at all. The owner of the relay station was sweating profusely. All he did was continue to bow to those middle-aged men, afraid of being collateral damage. "Look carefully. Are these all the people who have checked in at your relay station? Did you miss anything? If there's even the smallest discrepancy, your entire clan will be exterminated." The Sky Vault Sect's first prince looked at the owner of the relay station with a faint smile. "Yes, yes, yes. My lord, please rest assured. I will definitely look carefully. I would definitely not miss anything." The owner of the relay station wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and immediately sized up the crowd. "If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2540, Killing an Immortal Emperor. 4. No matter how foolish the owner of the relay station was, he knew that this group of people were not to be trifled with. With such a large group, something major must have happened. How would he dare to show any carelessness? The owner of the relay station immediately walked into the crowd and carefully examined each and every one of them. After a long time, the owner of the relay station finally withdrew from the crowd and walked to the side of the Sky Vault Sect's first prince. With an ingratiating smile, he said, "My lord, I have already looked at every one of them. The earliest guests checked in 4 days ago while the latest ones checked in today. There are a total of 63 people. There is absolutely no mistake." The Sky Vault Sect's first prince looked thoughtful when he heard the relay station owner's words. After a moment, his gaze landed on the relay station owner and he continued, "From yesterday until today, did anyone leave soon after checking in?" The owner of the relay station hurriedly shook his head and said with certainty, "My lord, definitely not. For the past 2 days, there have only been guests checking in. No one checked out, and I remember it very clearly." The Sky Vault Sect's first prince waved his golden fan. There were a total of 63 people here. Which one of them looked like an immortal emperor practitioner? Even if they failed to break through to the immortal emperor level, they would at the very least be at the emperor level, right below the immortal emperor stage. They would be peak emperor level practitioners. However, where was this great peak emperor level practitioner? First Prince, do you think, the Sky Vault Division's branch master had his physical body destroyed and his soul fled? Those disciples who escaped said that it was done by a dog. Could that dog be somehow linked to that immortal emperor? Or could it be that the immortal emperor is a dog? An old man from the Sky Vault sect walked over to the First Prince and whispered. The Sky Vault sect's First Prince was taken aback by this. When he returned to his senses, he could not help but find it laughable. A dog was linked to an immortal emperor? What a great joke! So you think that the immortal emperor was the one who destroyed the body of our Sky Vault sect branch master? The Sky Vault sect's First Prince glanced at the old man. The old man pondered for a moment before saying softly, "It's hard to say. Those disciples are unable to recognize the powers of an immortal emperor. They only said that the one who destroyed the branch master's body was a yellow dog with unfathomable strength. Furthermore, the timing is such a coincidence. I can only say that it's possible." "Got it. No need to tell anyone," the First Prince replied. There were two reasons for not announcing this. Firstly, this was news unique to their Sky Vault sect. Perhaps it even had something to do with that immortal emperor. Secondly, even if it had nothing to do with this, the body of a Sky Vault sect branch master had been destroyed by a dog. If this news got out, he would definitely become the laughingstock of all the major factions. Their Sky Vault sect would be utterly disgraced. The Sky Vault sect's First Prince's gaze swept across the crowd. His gaze landed on Yi Qingtang, who was carrying the big yellow dog. Yi Qingtang frowned when she felt the Sky Vault sect's First Prince's stare. She had a bad feeling about this, but the First Prince soon retracted his gaze. "My lord, there are a total of 63 people. We have examined them all. The strongest person is only a divine lord. There is no one above the divine lord level." A middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan spoke to the white-haired elder. The elder glanced at the 63 people and nodded slightly, indicating that he already knew. This was also within his expectations. If that immortal emperor was really among this crowd, there was no way he would have let them drag him out in this manner. A person who was capable of ascending the immortal emperor stage would be at the peak emperor level at the very least. Chapter 2541, Dragon Emperor Clan, 1. If that peak emperor level practitioner who had tried to break through to the immortal emperor stage was really here, they might not be able to defeat him even if they joined forces. No matter how serious his injuries were, the difference in their levels was just too great. It would definitely be a vicious battle. "Ha, elder, in that case, I'm afraid we've made a wasted trip." It was only some time later at the Sky Vault sect's First Prince remarked to the white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan. "Since that's the case, you should leave soon." The white-haired elder spoke calmly. The Sky Vault sect's First Prince did not take exception to the attitude of the Dragon Emperor clan elder. The Dragon Emperor clan was considered an extremely old clan in the Mixed Heavens holy domain. Coupled with the fact that they were also an evil cult, they had always behaved in this manner. "All right, I'll take my leave then." The First Prince of the Sky Vault sect smiled at the Dragon Emperor clan elder, before giving the old man from the Sky Vault sect a meaningful look. "Take that woman and that dog with us." The Sky Vault sect member glanced forward and his gaze landed on Yi Qingtang and the big yellow dog in her arms. He was shocked to see the big yellow dog in Yi Qingtang's arms. That yellow dog. Could it be the one that destroyed the body of the Sky Vault branch master? Seeing that the old man from the Sky Vault sect was about to say something, the Sky Vault sect's First Prince merely smiled and gestured for him to remain silent. The old man immediately understood and did not say anything. He only walked towards Yi Qingtang. Without further ado, the old man grabbed Yi Qingtang's arm and pulled her out of the crowd. "What are you doing?" Seeing that Yi Qingtang was being taken away, the Blood Moon Elder rushed out of the crowd and shouted at the Sky Vault sect old man. However, no one bothered with the Blood Moon Elder. In the next second, a flame appeared in the eyes of the Sky Vault sect's first prince. Immediately, the entire relay station turned to dust, including those guests who had no idea what was happening. The Blood Moon Elder was so frightened that he broke out in cold sweat. Fortunately, he had chased after her just now. Otherwise, he would have been buried in a sea of flames too. The Sky Vault sect's first prince was very young and had unfathomable strength. His temperament was also extremely vicious. As Yi Qingtang glanced at the people from the Sky Vault sect, she fell into deep thought. It seemed that she would not be able to escape if she did not use the power of her deity ocean. Yi Qingtang inadvertently glanced at the white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan. If she did not hear wrongly, this powerful expert was from her mother's maiden family, the Dragon Emperor clan. Great Lord! A middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan caught sight of Yi Qingtang. He could not look away after that. The middle-aged man looked very surprised. This woman, who was carrying a dog and being taken away by the Sky Vault sect's first prince. Her appearance was too. Especially when the middle-aged man first saw Yi Qingtang, he thought he was looking at the long-lost Miss Jiu. What's wrong, why are you so anxious? Seeing the strange expression on the middle-aged man's face, the white-haired elder of the Dragon Emperor clan frowned. No, my lord. Look at that woman who is being taken by the Sky Vault sect. Doesn't she look like someone? The middle-aged man hurriedly pointed at Yi Qingtang. Oh. The white-haired elder instinctively sized up the direction the middle-aged man was pointing at. When he saw Yi Qingtang's appearance, his pupils constricted. Chapter 2542, Dragon Emperor Clan, 2, In that instant, many memories flashed across the elder's mind. That face was too similar. Although they were not exactly the same, they were more than 80% similar. If he did not look carefully and had just taken a hasty glance, the white-haired elder might have really treated Yi Qingtang as the person from his memory. Alike, really too alike, after a long while, the elder finally returned to his senses. Actually, there were many people who looked similar in this world, but for some reason, he could instantly connect this girl to that person at a single glance. Di Jiuyuan was a super genius of the Dragon Emperor clan. She was also their great evil deity's favorite little princess. With her talent, she was bestowed her royal surname by the great evil deity himself. Later on, she had disappeared without a trace. Little Jiu, the white-haired elder, looked at Yi Qingtang's extremely familiar and nostalgic face and blurted out. My lord, they're too alike. They're really too alike. I remember that Princess Jiu was exactly like this back then. How could that girl be so similar to her? The middle-aged man exclaimed. Some years ago, he had violated the rules of the Dragon Emperor clan. According to the rules, he would have his arm chopped off. The middle-aged man still remembered it vividly. If it weren't for Princess Jiu protecting him and pleading on his behalf, he would have lost his arm. Although she was the favorite daughter of the evil deity, the middle-aged man's impression of Princess Jiu was that she did not put on any airs at all. Instead, she was amiable and approachable. She would play with the servants and got along very well with everyone. Looking at Yi Qingtang, the middle-aged man could not help but be reminded of all those memories from years ago. My lord, look, seeing that Yi Qingtang was about to be taken away, the middle-aged man did not know what to do. Although the woman and Princess Jiu did look very similar, they were not the same person. The middle-aged man knew that very well. Why is there still someone alive? At that moment, the Sky Vault sect's first prince glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. The old man from the Sky Vault sect stepped forward, looking like he wanted to get rid of the Blood Moon Elder. What are you doing? Have you never heard of me? Seeing that he was about to die, the Blood Moon Elder suddenly shouted. The Sky Vault sect old man's interest was piqued when he heard that. He stared at the Blood Moon Elder and his lips curled up slightly as he chuckled. "Oh, tell me who you are then." "My surname is He. Im He Hongqing. Haven't you heard of me?" The Blood Moon Elder asked coldly. The Sky Vault Sect old man and the first prince looked at each other. He Hongqing. However, in an instant, the old man from the Sky Vault Sect laughed. "What? You're He Hongqing, that person under the Heavenly Emperor?" "Yes," the Blood Moon Elder confirmed. He was not lying. He was indeed He Hongqing, even though he was just a clone. Actually, the Blood Moon Elder did not know his own name. It was just that he possessed some memories in which he was called He Hongqing. It turned out that his main Buddhist name was He Hongqing. "Ha, alright. In that case, I'll kill you today and you can get the Heavenly Emperor to seek out our Sky Vault Sect for an explanation." The old man from the Sky Vault Sect chuckled. At that moment, Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder and sighed quietly. Who would believe him in his current state? Even Yi Qingtang herself would not have believed him. Chapter 2543, Dragon Emperor Clan, 3, Yi Qingtang already had a plan. Judging from the current situation, she had no choice but to use the power of the deity ocean again to escape with the Blood Moon Elder. Otherwise, the Blood Moon Elder would definitely die in this wretched place if left alone again. It would be difficult to say if she could successfully collect the Blood Moon Elder's soul this time. Just as the old man from the Sky Vault Sect was about to attack the Blood Moon Elder and before Yi Qingtang could make a move, a soft shout came from afar. The middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan suddenly said, "Stop." The old man from the Sky Vault Sect was startled. What did this have to do with the Dragon Emperor clan? "Hee, what can I do for you, Mr. Dragon Emperor clan?" The old man from the Sky Vault Sect looked at the middle-aged man with a smile. The middle-aged man had a cold expression. He first glanced at Yi Qingtang before sizing up the Blood Moon Elder. "Miss, what's your name?" The middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan asked Yi Qingtang, ignoring the Sky Vault Sect member. Yi Qingtang replied truthfully after some thought. "Miss Yi, is he with you?" The middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan pointed at the Blood Moon Elder. Yes, 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 yes. We are together. We went through thick and thin together. We traveled together wherever we went." The Blood Moon Elder interjected hurriedly, not giving Yi Qingtang a chance to speak. "I am not asking you." The middle-aged man of the Dragon Emperor clan said in a displeased tone. The Blood Moon Elder immediately shut his mouth and did not say anything else. "Yes, we are together." Yi Qingtang nodded in acknowledgement. "All right." The middle-aged man of the Dragon Emperor clan nodded slightly before saying to the first prince of the Sky Vault Sect, "We will be taking this lady, her dog and this person away with us." Everyone was shocked, including Yi Qingtang. The Dragon Emperor clan is taking them away. The old man of the Sky Vault Sect frowned. "That's right. Does the Sky Vault Sect have any objections?" said the middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan. I'm afraid that's not appropriate. Both this woman and this dog are wanted criminals of the Sky Vault Sect. Your Dragon Emperor clan wants to take them away." The old man from the Sky Vault Sect was firm. "Miss, let me ask you. Do you know these people from the Sky Vault Sect? Have you offended them?" The middle-aged man asked Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang shook her head. "No. I've never seen them before, much less offended them." "You heard her. She doesn't know you." The middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan said. "It doesn't matter whether she knows us or not. I already said that she and her dog are wanted criminals of the Sky Vault Sect. How can the Dragon Emperor clan take them away just like that? That's unreasonable and against the rules." The old man of the Sky Vault Sect said in a cold tone. What did you just say?" The middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan looked at the old man from the Sky Vault sect in surprise. The middle-aged man laughed. Unreasonable, rules. The eyes of the Sky Vault sect's first prince turned cold. The middle-aged man of the Dragon Emperor clan said with a hollow laugh, "What's wrong with you today, making so many jokes? You are trying to talk about reason and rules with my Dragon Emperor clan?" Before the old man from the Sky Vault sect could say anything, the middle-aged man shouted, "Since when does the Dragon Emperor clan have to adhere to any rules? When have we ever been reasonable? If you want to talk about reason and rules, speak to the evil deity yourself." Chapter 2544, Dragon Emperor Clan, 4. The first prince of the Sky Vault sect cast a sweeping gaze at the people from the Dragon Emperor clan. Indeed, the Dragon Emperor clan was considered an evil cult in the Mixed Heavens holy domain and had never abided by the rules and principles. He heard from the Sky Vault sect Paragon that many years ago, the Dragon Emperor clan even started a plan to overthrow the Mixed Heavens holy domain and eradicate all the factions that refused to submit. They wanted to completely disintegrate the Mixed Heavens holy domain and take control of it. During this period of time, the Dragon Emperor clan captured many prodigious disciples of the various factions and sacrificed their blood for their destruction array. If not for the factions working together to resist them and the fact that there was a traitor in the Dragon Emperor clan, the clan would have succeeded long ago. Now, it was indeed laughable to talk about rules and reason with these sinister devils. "Heh, elder. The Paragon has instructed us to bring this woman and her dog back. Why don't we compromise? You can take this man with you. How about that?" The Sky Vault sect's first prince pointed at the Blood Moon elder beside him. What a joke. The middle-aged man's face turned cold as he spat out, "I want them all. You." A cold glint appeared in the eyes of the Sky Vault sect old man. Did the Dragon Emperor clan really think that the Sky Vault sect was afraid of them? How dare they be so arrogant? What if I don't give them to you? The old man from the Sky Vault sect shouted. The middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan suddenly made a move. However, his movements were so fast that no one from the Sky Vault sect saw it other than their first prince. The next second, the middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan grabbed the old man's neck and lifted him into the air. The old man's face flushed red. He did not expect the middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan to suddenly make a move. Caught off guard, his life was now in the middle-aged man's hands. It was too late for him to resist. Then die. The middle-aged man of the Dragon Emperor clan clenched his fists. The sound of bones breaking rang out as the old man's neck was crushed by the middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan. In the next second, a red light surged out of the old man's head and escaped without a trace. Trying to run. The middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan hollered when he saw that the old man's soul was trying to escape from his body. With a wave of his right hand, a black light shot into the sky and instantly enveloped the red light. In the next second, heart-wrenching cries rang out. It was the heart-wrenching cry of a divine soul in its last moments. It sounded as if it was enduring excruciating pain. In the blink of an eye, the old man's soul was burnt into nothingness, his soul and body both destroyed. No one can escape from the slaughter of my Dragon Emperor clan. The middle-aged man sneered. He then glanced at the first prince of the Sky Vault sect with a smile. Your Highness, your subordinate was ignorant of etiquette. My Dragon Emperor clan has eliminated him for you. I believe that you are smart enough not to blame me, correct? The Sky Vault sect's first prince narrowed his eyes. A harsh glint appeared in them before disappearing. A faint smile appeared on his face. Of course. I wouldn't forgive such an unruly subordinate even if the Dragon Emperor clan didn't interfere. I feel sorry to have even troubled you. Chapter 2545, Dragon Emperor Clan, 5. The Sky Vault sect's first prince looked at the middle-aged man and the white-haired elder. His eyes emitted a cold glint, but he remained calm on the surface, his face full of smiles. Someone from the Dragon Emperor clan had destroyed the body of his subordinate right in front of him and even destroyed his divine soul. This was equivalent to giving him a slap across the face. While the old man's death was not worth mentioning, as the Sky Vault sect's first prince, he represented the reputation of the entire Sky Vault sect. But of course, the first prince of the Sky Vault sect would not say anything either. After all, the Dragon Emperor clan was an extremely ancient clan in the entire Mixed Heavens holy domain and possessed abundant resources. The current Sky Vault sect could not compare to them. There was no need for them to become enemies with the Dragon Emperor clan over a woman and a dog. To be able to become the Sky Vault sect's first prince, strength was one thing, but intelligence was another. Especially in such a situation, the only thing the first prince could do now was to endure it and tell their paragon what had happened. As for what the next step would be, it was something that their paragon needed to consider and decide. It was not up to him. Dragon Emperor clan, it's getting late. I haven't completed the task assigned to me by our paragon yet. I have to return to the Sky Vault sect to report to him, so I'll take my leave first. The first prince smiled at the white-haired elder and cupped his fists respectfully before turning to leave with his men. All the while the white-haired elder remained silent as his gaze landed on Yi Qingtang. After sizing her up for a long time, he said to the middle-aged man beside him, "Aren't you going to send off the Sky Vault sect's first prince?" The middle-aged man smiled and gestured respectfully at the Sky Vault sect's first prince. "Your Highness, let me escort you on your way out." "Thank you." The first prince nodded calmly. After seeing off the Sky Vault sect, the middle-aged man returned to the white-haired elder's side. The middle-aged man looked at the white-haired elder and asked softly, "The Temple of Paragon and the Devil Cloud sect have not returned yet. Do we need to?" The white-haired elder was expressionless when he heard that. He said indifferently, "That's a matter between the Temple of Paragon and the Devil Cloud sect. It has nothing to do with the Dragon Emperor clan. Who cares what they do?" Yi Qingtang overheard the conversation between the middle-aged man and the white-haired elder. At that moment, Yi Qingtang was slightly surprised. From their conversation, those from the Temple of Paragon people also came. However, what kind of force was the Devil Cloud sect? It seemed to have some conflict with the Temple of Paragon. "Miss Yi, I wonder if you have time to come with us." The white-haired elder's gaze landed on Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang was hesitant. To put it bluntly, Yi Qingtang did not want to go to the Dragon Emperor clan at this point. Yi Qingtang still did not know how her mother Di Jiuyuan had disappeared and what the situation was like in the Dragon Emperor clan. It was not good for her to rashly head over to the Dragon Emperor clan before everything was investigated. Seeing Yi Qingtang's hesitation, the white-haired elder said softly, "You don't have to worry, Miss Yi. I'm just inviting you to be a guest at the Dragon Emperor clan. You just have to take a look. I guarantee that your pet and friend will definitely not be in any danger." Pet, the big yellow dog in Yi Qingtang's arms appeared annoyed. Chapter 2546, Dragon Emperor Clan, 6, Yi Qingtang looked at the restless big yellow dog in her arms and could not help feeling a headache coming on. She understood this dog's character. It could not even bear to be called a mount, much less a pet. Fortunately, the big yellow dog did not have much strength currently and was restrained by the natural laws of the lower realm. Otherwise, it would be a huge mess. A smile immediately appeared on Yi Qingtang's face as she stroked the big yellow dog's fur. She then looked at the old man from the Dragon Emperor clan and chuckled. "Sir, I'm just an ordinary person. The Dragon Emperor clan is a long-standing faction in the Mixed Heavens holy domain. How can I have the honor of visiting the Dragon Emperor clan?" "Why don't?" However, before Yi Qingtang could finish her speech, the white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan turned around and walked on. Exasperated, Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon elder were also led away. The corners of Yi Qingtang's lips twitched. What was the point of asking for her opinion then? Regardless of whether she agreed or refused, she would still have to follow them to the Dragon Emperor clan. This was such a major faction but still really polite. Before long, a huge avian demon appeared from the void. It was pulling a pale black carriage. The demon landed and the white-haired elder invited Yi Qingtang onto the carriage. The Blood Moon elder originally wanted to follow Yi Qingtang into the carriage but was brought away by the Dragon Emperor clan middle-aged man. Only Yi Qingtang and the white-haired elder were in the carriage. The big yellow dog was sleeping in Yi Qingtang's arms. The Dragon Emperor clan was very far from this mainland, but the flying beast was extremely fast. Before long, it had already exited this mainland and arrived above the sea region. Yi Qingtang looked down from the window of the carriage and could vaguely see the sea. For some reason, Yi Qingtang suddenly remembered the time when she was in the Temple of Paragon, and the Sea King came looking for her and they played sea soul chess. It was as if it had just happened yesterday. A long time had passed in the blink of an eye. During this time, she had left the Temple of Paragon and even entered an academy to become a teacher. Now that she had been in the second domain for some time, Yi Qingtang increasingly felt that her skills were too weak. A fifth heaven-level divine lord was not bad. In the first domain, Yi Qingtang's skills were enough to be touted as invincible. However, in the second domain, this level was considered extremely weak. Yi Qingtang already deeply understood that it was impossible to move freely in the mixed heavens holy domain with her insufficient skills. In the face of her enemies, she could only run for her life. Yi Qingtang had had enough of always fleeing for her life. It had been like this in her previous life, and it was now still like this in this life. However, the presence of the heart of heavenly Tao in her body greatly suppressed her own progress in martial arts. Moreover, the seal on the heart of heavenly Tao was about to lose its effectiveness soon. This made Yi Qingtang rather helpless. Currently, there was no better solution. Yi Qingtang knew very well that based on the current situation, she would not be able to survive for long in the mixed heavens holy domain, much less explore the third domain. She might even die in the mixed heavens holy domain someday. Chapter 2547, Dragon Emperor Clan, 7, Mississippi. Just as Yi Qingtang was deep in thought, the white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan interrupted her thoughts. Yi Qingtang instinctively looked up at him. She smiled at him. "Senior, what can I do for you?" The white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan shook his head. He studied Yi Qingtang for a few seconds before saying, "May I know where you are from? Are you a native of the mixed heavens holy domain?" Yi Qingtang pondered for a moment before shaking her head. "Senior, to be honest, I am not from the mixed heavens holy domain but the blue sky domain. I just came to the mixed heavens holy domain not long ago." Blue sky domain. The white-haired elder frowned slightly when he heard Yi Qingtang's words. Surprise appeared in his eyes. There were currently 3 domains in this world and they were also categorized into 3 major martial arts civilizations. These 3 domains were the first domain's blue sky domain, the second domain's mixed heavens holy domain and the third domain's divine venerate domain. Among them, the blue sky domain had the least number of continents and their martial arts culture was very backward. In fact, in the eyes of the various major factions in the mixed heavens holy domain, the people and things in the blue sky domain were not even worth mentioning. The blue sky domain had very few martial arts resources, so it was impossible for any true experts to appear. The white-haired elder sized up Yi Qingtang and said, "The blue sky domain is very far from the mixed heavens holy domain. There is also an extremely dangerous barrier in the middle. I wonder how Miss Yi came to the mixed heavens holy domain from the blue sky domain." Yi Qingtang smiled. "It was a coincidence. As for the natural barrier you mentioned, I only knew that it was extremely dangerous after passing over. I might have just been lucky and did not suffer any fatal injuries." Oh, the white-haired elder had some suspicions about what Yi Qingtang was telling him. Even if they disregarded the wide distance between the blue sky domain and the mixed heavens holy domain, the woman in front of him was at the fifth heaven divine lord level. She did not seem to be from the blue sky domain. "Miss, how old are you now?" The elder suddenly changed the topic. However, before Yi Qingtang could say anything, the elder lifted her arm with a thoughtful expression. Yi Qingtang knew this elder was determining her age. It was similar to the way the Temple of Paragon judged her age. "I see. Miss Yi is not very old but is about the same age as the younger disciples of my Dragon Emperor clan." After a long time, the white-haired elder moved his hand away and sized up Yi Qingtang again. "Are your parents still alive?" The white-haired elder continued. Yi Qingtang stared at the white-haired elder and said softly, "To tell you the truth, I haven't seen my parents since I was young. I only have an adoptive father. I was adopted and raised by him from a young age." The white-haired elder was deep in thought after hearing Yi Qingtang's words. He did not speak further. Seeing that the elder was silent, Yi Qingtang relaxed a little and gazed out of the window. After about half a day later, the faint sound of thunder rang out from outside the carriage. Yi Qingtang looked out and saw that the flying demon had arrived at the foot of a huge black mountain. The black mountain in front of them blotted out the sky and sun. One couldn't even see its peak at all. Black lightning flashed everywhere, which would occasionally erupt violently and unleash deafening sounds that would terrify a weaker being. Chapter 2548, Dragon Emperor Clan, 8, The scene made Yi Qingtang's heart tremble slightly. She thought that she had come to the end of the world and that this huge black mountain was like a divine pillar that supported the heavens. "Miss Yi, we're here." After a long time, the white-haired elder opened his eyes and said indifferently. "Senior, is this the headquarters of the Dragon Emperor clan?" Yi Qingtang asked in surprise. "That's right." The white-haired elder nodded slightly. This mountain was called the Demon Mountain. It was located in the north and was considered the top of the northern region. Back when the evil deity killed an unparalleled demonic creature, that demonic creature had been suppressed at the foot of the mountain since. Demonic energy shrouded the mountain range, making it the best place for the Dragon Emperor clan to cultivate. Yi Qingtang nodded after hearing the white-haired elder's narration. While she did not know who the evil deity was, from the elder's expression, he should be one of the patriarchs of the Dragon Emperor clan. Just as the white-haired elder said, there was demonic energy surrounding the place. People who cultivated in the evil arts would naturally prefer this kind of demonic aura surrounding them. The Dragon Emperor clan was the most powerful evil demonic clan in the entire Mixed Heavens holy domain. It was not surprising for their headquarters to be built here. Although Yi Qingtang's mother, Di Jiuyuan, was the successor of the Dragon Emperor clan, Yi Qingtang had never seen her biological parents in both her lives nor had she come to the Dragon Emperor clan before. It wasn't surprising that she did not know much about the clan. A moment later, the white-haired elder looked at Yi Qingtang and said, "Since Miss Yi is here, you should stay for a few days. The Dragon Emperor clan treats their guests the best in the entire Mixed Heavens holy domain." Yi Qingtang was speechless. She hadn't wanted to come here in the first place. Did she have the right to refuse? Of course, before her identity was made known, Yi Qingtang knew how to behave in front of a behemoth like the Dragon Emperor clan. The white-haired elder probably would not hurt her since he invited her over. However, Yi Qingtang had her own worries as well. She could guess why this white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan brought her here. It must be because she looked similar to her mother, Di Jiuyuan. However, not only did Yi Qingtang look like her mother, Di Jiuyuan, she also looked identical to that paragon from the Temple of Paragon. The reputation of the Temple of Paragon was well known in the Mixed Heavens holy domain. Their paragon had always been mysterious and very few people had seen her face. Based on what Yi Qingtang knew, apart from the core higher-ups of the Temple of Paragon, only the Sea King had also seen the paragon. However, Yi Qingtang did not know if the evil deity of the Dragon Emperor clan had seen the Temple of Paragon's paragon. With the Dragon Emperor clan's influence and reputation in the Mixed Heavens holy domain, it would not be surprising if he had seen the paragon. But then again, the Temple of Paragon and the Dragon Emperor clan had never been on good terms. If the Dragon Emperor clan discovered that she had the same appearance as that paragon, who knew what consequences would await her? However, it was useless for Yi Qingtang to think too much now. It was impossible to escape from the Dragon Emperor clan given the situation. She could only take things one step at a time, and she did not have a good solution for the time being. After a long time, the avian demon gently flapped its wings and landed on the huge mountain steadily. It seemed that the entire mountain range was the headquarters of the Dragon Emperor clan. Chapter 2549. As soon as she alighted from the carriage, Yi Qingtang was shocked by the extremely thick demonic aura permeating the place. If her skill level was any lower, she would probably be engulfed by the energy and end up losing her mind and perhaps even losing her life. Can Miss Yi withstand the demonic energy here? Seeing that Yi Qingtang was not acting strangely, the white-haired elder stared at her meaningfully. Yi Qingtang nodded slightly and said, "Senior, although the demonic aura here is thick, it does not affect me." Looks like Miss Yi is better than I imagined," the white-haired elder said thoughtfully. Yi Qingtang did not know what the white-haired elder meant and did not take it to heart. After a while, the other members of the Dragon Emperor clan who had traveled with them walked over. The middle-aged man in the lead looked at Yi Qingtang and said, "Miss Yi, your friend is unable to endure the aura here. I gave him a medicinal pill and he will be fine after it takes effect. I have already sent him to the guest room to rest. Miss Yi, do not worry." Yi Qingtang looked at the middle-aged man and nodded. "Thank you, senior. By the way, is this Miss Yi's first time in the Dragon Emperor clan?" The middle-aged man asked with a smile. "Of course it's my first time. In the past, I have only heard of the great name of the Dragon Emperor clan. I never expected to be lucky enough to visit the Dragon Emperor clan in my lifetime. It seems like a dream." Yi Qingtang smiled. "Yes, I need to remind Miss Yi of a few points. As a guest in the Dragon Emperor clan, you must remember not to wander around on your own or get into conflict with anyone here. Otherwise, your life might be in danger," the middle-aged man told Yi Qingtang in a serious tone. In fact, there was no need for the middle-aged man to remind her. She would not wander around on her own. As for fighting with someone from the Dragon Emperor clan, that was even more improbable. It would be no different from committing suicide. Yi Qingtang knew that the Dragon Emperor clan cultivated in the way of the evil deity and was considered a true evil clan. Fighting with a powerful person who cultivated in demonic ways would be equivalent to seeking death. Even the younger generations of the Dragon Emperor clan were not people that she could compare with. Visit Readle.me for extra chapters. The middle-aged man continued to explain things to her, and Yi Qingtang was able to gather a basic understanding of the Dragon Emperor clan. The hierarchy of the Dragon Emperor clan was extremely strict, mainly determined by one's bloodline. The bloodline with the most respected status as the direct bloodline, followed by the different branches who shared a common ancestor. In the Dragon Emperor clan, there were very few with a direct bloodline, and none of them were to be trifled with. Yi Qingtang had no intention of causing trouble at all. She felt that the middle-aged man might be over-anxious. In the current situation, she was just an insignificant outsider and could not even be considered a guest. In addition, her skills were also very ordinary. Even if she died in the Dragon Emperor clan, no one would pay her any attention. "Senior, don't worry. I understand the rules. I have to ask you, when can I leave?" Yi Qingtang looked at the middle-aged man and asked softly. On the surface, Yi Qingtang might be a guest of the Dragon Emperor clan who had been invited by the white-haired elder. However, she knew very well what her actual situation was. It would not be an exaggeration to call her a prisoner. Chapter 2550, Dragon Emperor Clan, 10, Miss, ye need not worry about that. Since you are already in the Dragon Emperor Clan, you should rest for a few days. The middle-aged man looked at Yi Qingtang and chuckled. Yi Qingtang wanted to say something, but after pondering for a moment, she kept silent. Currently, she did not have any bargaining power. Rather than waste her breath displeasing others, she might as well shut her mouth and take things one step at a time. Presumably, a major faction like the Dragon Emperor clan would not deliberately make things difficult for a nameless junior. Come. A moment later, the white-haired elder gestured for Yi Qingtang to follow him into the Dragon Emperor clan. Long Yun, who is this woman you have brought back? A powerful figure guarding the mountain stood in front of her and his cold eyes landed on Yi Qingtang. However, after sizing her up, the guards were all stunned. Yi Qingtang's appearance was very similar to Princess Jiu of the Dragon Emperor clan, Di Jiuyuan. Although they were not exactly the same, her mannerisms were also very similar to Di Jiuyuan. This girl's appearance is really too similar to Boss. If not for the fact that Boss has already found her 2 children, I would really think that this girl was one of her children, one of the mountain guardians said after scrutinizing Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang frowned at his words. If she had not misheard, the guard said that Di Jiuyuan's children had been found by the Dragon Emperor clan. Long Yun, this girl looks very similar to Princess Jiu. Where did you find her? Another guard chuckled. Open the door, the white-haired elder said impatiently. Visit Riedel. Me for extra chapters. The guards opened the mountain gate together and the white-haired elder led Yi Qingtang and the rest in with large strides. As soon as she entered the clan, Yi Qingtang saw several huge sculptures in the middle. Each sculpture was about 100 meters tall and nearly reached the clouds. Ha 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 ha. Suddenly, one of the sculptures laughed out loud. Its huge eyes looked at the white-haired elder as it let out a deafening and thunderous noise. Long Yun, what are you doing? Business. The white-haired elder looked up at the statue. The statue smiled and didn't continue the conversation. Yi Qingtang stared at the few huge sculptures in front of her and was slightly surprised. She originally thought that they were sculptures built by the Dragon Emperor clan and did not expect them to be living creatures. Seeing Yi Qingtang's confusion, the middle-aged man smiled and said, "These are all the Dragon Emperor clan's guardian weapons." Weapons? The corners of Yi Qingtang's lips twitched. She had never seen a weapon that could speak. It looked like a race of giants. However, no matter how big the giant race was, it was impossible for them to grow to such an extent. Senior, these should be considered confidential information of the Dragon Emperor clan, right? I'm just an outsider. It doesn't seem appropriate to tell me this. Yi Qingtang looked at the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man shook his head with a smile. Even we don't know the true secrets of the Dragon Emperor clan. There's no way a secret would be placed out in the open like that. These are not considered a secret but just an ordinary defense mechanism. After hearing what the middle-aged man said, Yi Qingtang could not help but sigh. The Dragon Emperor clan was a veteran force in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain after all. To think that even this kind of defense was considered ordinary. Chapter 2551, Dragon Emperor Clan, 11, If these sculptures were handed over to some ordinary faction in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain, their combat strength would probably be instantly boosted to that of a first-tier faction. It had to be said that the Dragon Emperor clan was truly too overwhelming. The entire mountain range was the territory of the Dragon Emperor clan. Within that was the Pill Chamber, the Divine Armory, the martial arts area, and countless other facilities. Even those top academies in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain who had very comprehensive campuses would probably still be way inferior to the Dragon Emperor clan's territory. Before long, the middle-aged man brought Yi Qingtang to the guest room area at the elder's instruction. Miss Yi, These guest rooms are spacious and clean. Your friend is resting in a room on the north side. You can choose one as you like, the middle-aged man explained. These guest rooms are all empty. Are there no other guests in the Dragon Emperor clan? Yi Qingtang asked instinctively. Miss Yi, the Dragon Emperor clan doesn't have many guests. In the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain, there aren't many people who are qualified to be our guests. Some people might be qualified, but they do not dare to come here. The middle-aged man chuckled. Yi Qingtang had a general understanding of the Dragon Emperor clan's way of doing things. This middle-aged man was telling the truth. Who would dare to come to the Dragon Emperor clan as a guest? It was a major evil faction in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain. Alright, Miss Yi, as I told you before, don't leave the guest room area without permission. Someone will bring some food and water over for you. After giving his instructions, the middle-aged man made to leave. Senior, Yi Qingtang suddenly called out to the middle-aged man. Visit Riedel. Me for extra chapters. The middle-aged man turned to look at Yi Qingtang and said, Miss Yi, what other questions do you have? Nothing much, I'm just curious. I heard just now that, the children of Princess Jiao have been found by the Dragon Emperor clan. Yi Qingtang pondered for a moment before deciding to ask. It would be best if she could find out, but she would not mind if she could not. Miss Yi, why are you asking about this? The middle-aged man frowned slightly. No outsider was allowed to ask about the direct bloodline descendants, especially in the extremely strict Dragon Emperor clan. To be honest, I'm a little curious about Princess Di Jiuyuan, Yi Qingtang said with a smile. The middle-aged man did not speak. He sized up Yi Qingtang for a long time before saying, Miss Yi, there are some things that you can ask about but some that you cannot. If you don't know which is which, it's best not to ask at all. Do you understand what I mean? Yi Qingtang pondered over this. In the end, she nodded and smiled. I will remember your advice, senior. I will not speak of it anymore. Alright, Miss Yi, rest early. The middle-aged man did not stay any longer and turned to leave. After the middle-aged man left, Yi Qingtang casually chose a room and entered. The guest room of the Dragon Emperor clan was extremely luxurious. There was an indescribable charm to it. In fact, the table was filled with extremely rare delicacies. If consumed by warriors, it could strengthen the muscles and bones. There were even many rare medicinal pills placed on the table in bottles. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.